A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
This is Walter O'Keefe, inviting you to listen in on the Nightline. Tonight, live the incredible life of ages yet to come, in a time that might be 1,000,000 years from now, on X-1. Now, an incredible story of the world beyond.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in 1,000,000, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents X-1. Tonight, Early Model by Robert Sheckley. But first, hear this.
When you swing and sway to a Latin beat, life is lovely, life is sweet.
You make it Pabst, 'cause Pabst makes it perfect.
Yes, Pabst makes it perfect. Just as we always have ever since 1844. So next time, you make it Pabst, because Pabst makes it perfect. America's Blue Ribbon beer from the Pabst Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yes, Pabst makes it perfect.
Now, X-1, and the Robert Sheckley story, Early Model.
Of course, Professor Sliggett claimed the trouble was that the Protec was an early model, but then he invented it. He sprung the thing on me just before I took off for my scouting contact mission to Tells 4 in the Betelgeuse sector.
Here, Bentley, put this on.
Well, what is it?
A new model. It's called a Protec.
What's it for?
Now, you'll wear it on your mission.
Now, look, Sliggett, I already have to carry enough equipment to give varicose veins to an elephant. Linguicine, that's 22 pounds. I can't do without it, or I can't translate native languages. Concentrated food, water, subspace radio, weapons, medical kit. Now, how much does this thing weigh?
72 pounds. Try it on.
Look, I won't promise
It
to
fits
take...
right on your back. Here, I'll snap the harness. Fits fine.
It digs into my back. There's a sharp thing back
That's
there.
the sensory link. It has to be at that angle.
But my back...
We're working on the problem. Now, don't worry.
What does it do?
Protec is a perfect protection for initial planet contact. There are pseudoprotein computer banks and an Anderson-Woodward force field projector. Wherever the Protec senses danger... look, I'll show you. I take this slide rule and swing at you.
Hey, where did everybody go? Who turned out the lights? Hey, Sliggett, where am I? Sliggett! Get me out of here, Sliggett! What happened?
The Protec went on.
Oh.
It encased you in the AW force field. I released by master control. You can turn it off with this button on your chest. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, but 73 pounds.
Well, this is an early model. I've used every weight-saving device possible, but unfortunately, early models are always a little bulky.
All right. How do I take it off?
I'm not going to tell you.
Huh?
We're not going to take chances of having valuable equipment discarded just because it might be a little uncomfortable. Bentley, you're going to an alien planet. It's necessary that you be protected at all times.
Look, I've got enough sense to figure out when to wear this thing.
Yeah, suppose you find the natives seemingly friendly. You'd want to take off this heavy, uncomfortable Protec. But suppose you misjudge their attitude.
Sliggert, I can take care of myself.
That's what Atwood said before he left for Topaz 3. We never heard from him. Bentley, can you turn a knife thrust from the rear? Have you got eyes in the back of your head? Protec has. We're not going to risk $8 million worth of equipment just because you might be uncomfortable.
Suppose it blows a fuse or pops a wire.
We've got triple everything, with a power supply good for a century. Bentley, after this field test, the Protec will be standard equipment for all explorers.
Well, all right. I'll try to get used to it. But it feels like I'm carrying a 72-pound monkey on my back. I carried it for 6 weeks on the way to Tels 4. And the added weight loused up my coordination and landing, so I burned out about 7 acres with backlash from the braking tubes. The radio receiver buried in my ear itched, and my back was rubbed raw from the carrying straps. I piled on my linguisine and the other equipment and staggered out. My instructions were to fraternize with the Aborigines and establish a trade pact, if possible. I found 2 of them standing outside the tail fins when the hull had cooled enough to get out. They were bipeds, orange-skinned with thick, short tails, and they were armed with stone axes and clubs. I stepped out of the lock, and they started talking fast. I realized I hadn't turned on my linguisine, so I tuned it in and threw the switch.
I dare say it's a manifestation of some supernatural quality, eh, Wassel, old chap?
Without a doubt, old man. You know how the linguisine works, instantaneous semantic translation. Well, mine was made by the Gorley Laboratories just outside London, and naturally they had the word tapes recorded by BBC announcers. It takes a little getting used to when you hear some walking vegetable from the Canopus system talking like the Home Service. Well, the Tellians were pretty excited by my arrival.
How strange. Unbelievable.
Most improper, you know.
I suppose it can talk.
I come as a friend. A friend.
Well?
It does talk. Dreadful accent. But what can you expect, eh?
Foreigners, you know.
You know, old boy, I definitely sense an evil.
Oh, now, come. We're both ghost doctors. Surely if there was an evil, we'd both sense it.
Well, let's ask, shall we?
Let's.
I say, are you evil? Me?
Why, yes. You see, we're the village ghost doctors. It's our job to ferret out evil, so to speak.
It's our cup of fugle, so to speak.
Are you evil?
Oh, no. No.
He says he's not evil.
Well, how do you know?
If he doesn't, who does?
My dear fellow, appearances aren't everything. Surely you recall the legend of Hatape, the gods tempted the chief...
Please, my dear chap, I'm as well aware of religious precedent as you are.
The 2 of them stood there, lashing their orange tails, accusing each other of heresy. The linguisine finally couldn't handle the theological discussion and cut out before overload blew a circuit. Eventually, they must have decided something because the short one carrying the stone axe turned to me.
Stranger, we've decided not to kill you.
Not yet, anyway. We'll go to the village and purify ourselves, then we'll initiate you into the club.
The club? The Society of Ghost Doctors. You see, no evil thing can become a ghost doctor. It just isn't done, you know.
Oh, we'll find out the truth that way. Clever. Eh? I'm deeply grateful.
But if you're evil, we'll destroy you. Have to. Our job, you know.
You are listening to Early Model, tonight's attraction on X-1. For the big things in your life, be ready with United States savings bonds. That's the new savings bond with the higher interest rate. The improved Series E savings bonds that now mature faster to pay you back extra dollars faster. Yes, when you think of saving, think of savings bonds. They offer you the safe, easy way to save regularly. Safe because each bond is backed by the United States government itself. Easy because you can buy bonds either where you bank or through the payroll savings plan where you work. And you get back $4 at maturity for every 3 invested, so you earn extra dollars. But the big news is that the maturity period is shortened to only 8 years and 11 months. So join the bond wagon. Start a family savings program. Invest in improved Series E bonds today and hold the bonds you already own. Now, back to X-1 and tonight's story, Early Model.
Sliggett. Calling Professor Sliggett at home base. Come in.
Go ahead, Bentley. Report.
I'm in the village now. They're about to initiate me as some kind of priest. All I have to do is pass some kind of test. And, by the way, if I don't pass, they're going to kill me.
That's good.
What's funny?
They can't hurt a hair on your head, not with Protec on the job.
They seem awfully confident that they can.
Primitive cultures always overestimate the power of their weapons. Don't worry. Just let Protec take care of you.
Go ahead, old boy. It's purified ceremonial food.
But I can't.
Why not? We purified with 7 sprinklings of strychnine, according to ritual.
It's a taboo. I'm only allowed to eat my own supplies. A tribal taboo, you know.
How primitive.
Positively pagan.
Well, shall we get on with it? We'll dispense with the written exam and get right down to the oral.
Tell me, what do you think of evil?
Well, it isn't good.
Ah.
Well put.
Well, in that case, you will have no objection to receiving the sacred and very holy spear that Cran Clou brought down from the abode of the small gods, the brandishing of which brings good on a man.
Oh, I would be honored to receive it.
Very well, then. The ceremony can commence.
O stranger from the skies, accept from us this spear of sanctity. Evil cannot abide the presence of this spear. Take then our blessings with it. Here, here, O stranger, take the spear!
Confounded Protec. Where's that release button? Sliggert, come in. Oh, he's probably out to lunch. Gotta get that force field off. Listen, I'm terribly sorry, but I...
purification, Dodge. We are in the presence of evil spirits.
Oh, no, I can explain.
You cannot accept the sacred spear.
Well, you see, I've got this protective device. It's sort of like a shield, you know? It doesn't like spears. It doesn't trust them. You couldn't give me a sacred gourd?
Nonsense. Who ever heard of a sacred gourd?
Poppycock. Look, you'll just have to take my word for it. I'm not evil. Really. Scout's honor.
Our course is clear.
Transparent.
We won't kill you at once. We'll pray for you through the night. And perhaps in the morning, things will turn out better. If not...
Sorry, old boy, but you understand our position. We'll just have to kill you. Can't be helped. Regulations, you know.
Yes, Bentley, I understand. Well, primitive people are notoriously treacherous. They might have stabbed you with the spear.
Look, Sliggett, I'm positive there was no such intent. After all, you have to start trusting people sometime.
Not with $1 billion worth of equipment in your charge.
Don't you understand? The Protec wouldn't let me accept their sacred spear. That means I might be evil. Now, what if I can't pass the initiation test tomorrow? Look, tell me how to take it off.
Oh, no. We want you back alive. There's no way they can hurt you through the Protec field. Now, try to have a little faith.
The campfires burned all night, and I could hear the chants of the ghost doctors. At least 3 or 4 times during that night, the Protec force field howled on and off, but I was too tired to care. In the morning, the 2 Tellians came to see me and stood switching their fat orange tails politely, while the linguicine translated for me.
There were great sounds from your hut last night, sounds of torment, as if you were wrestling with the devil, so to speak.
I'm a restless sleeper.
Yes, of course.
Quite.
By the way, old thing, did you pray for purification last night?
Oh, yes, I did.
And was your prayer granted?
Yes, sure, certainly. Not a bit of evil around me.
Well, if you can't be initiated, we'll have to destroy you.
We made that clear, didn't we?
Oh, yes, quite clear. The initiation ritual took the whole day. It was sort of a cross between a Shriners' convention and a performance of Das Rheingold at the Met. Luckily, no one tried to hand me a ceremonial spear or point a club in my direction, so the Protec kept its grimy force field to itself. Finally, around supper time, the Tellians pounded the last tail on the ground, and everyone stopped and paid close attention.
Oh, brothers, this alien has come across the vast emptiness to be our brother. With this initiation, we purge him of evil and make him one of us. Brother, now you are a ghost doctor with all the privileges and perquisites pertaining thereto. And in friendship, I extend to you the claw of friendship.
Well, thanks.
We have only to shake claws, and the ceremony is concluded.
All right, brother. Give me some skin. Slip me 7. No, listen, turn it off. He just wants to shake hands. You're spoiling everything. Off. Now, where's that button? Off.
Evil.
Well, there it is, you know. We hoped we could muddle through, but you can't win them all, you know. There's only one thing left. Kill the devil!
About 30 of the Tellians heaved stone spears at me, and naturally I disappeared inside the Anderson-Woodward force field, and the spears rattled off the whining, coruscating power sphere. I tried to walk back to the ship, but the Protect went on about every half step, and at that rate it would take me about a month to cover the ground. I figured I'd wait him out. And then I noticed that the air inside the field began to go stale. I came out of the field. The Tellians were sitting around. Rennick picked up a spear.
Evil.
Wait. Hold off. Fins. Fair play.
Fair play?
I say, Rennick, he's due a 3-minute sanctuary under the sacred law of his Hipple.
Really think so?
We invoked fair play.
True. All right, monster. You have 3 minutes.
Thanks. Hello, Sliggert. Come in, Sliggert.
Ah, there you are, Bentley.
Listen, you've got to get me out of this. They're trapping me in the Protect.
You mean the Protect is saving you from harm?
No, they keep activating it. They'll starve me out.
Now, don't get panicky. Just sit tight in the Protect field till they see they can't harm you.
You confounded idiot. There's no air in there. The force field cuts it off. I'll choke.
Oh, dear, that's true, isn't it? Don't worry. We'll correct that in future models.
Oh, thanks a lot. But what am I going to do right now? How do I get this thing off?
Well, now I am sorry. To tell the truth, I designed the harness so that you couldn't get out under any circumstances.
Oh, you lousy...
Please, let's keep our heads. If you can hold out for a couple of months, we might be able
I can't. The air, the water. And I hate to mention it, but they seem to be building fires around me.
I'm sorry. Your 3 minutes are up. We are going to destroy you with fire.
Yeah, it's traditional that way. My dear chap, would you like to kindle the first blaze?
Oh, after you, old fellow. Remember, I burned the last evil monster.
True. Oh, monster.
Yes?
Do you have a light?
I knew I was cooked, one way or the other. They started to light fires around me in a circle, and the Protect snapped on. I had to get out. Of course, when I did, the Tellians would cheerfully spear me to death. But at least I had a chance of running. The field snapped on again. I grabbed my knife from the tool chest and hacked at the thick duroplastic webbing of the harness. I came out of the field long enough to hear Sliggert shouting in my ear.
What are you doing?
Cutting my way out of this fire trap.
You don't dare destroy government equipment. This will go down on your 201 file.
Look, I'm trapped inside the field as long as they feed the fire. And considering how they feel about devils, they'll probably keep it up a couple of 100 years. Uh-oh. They're pushing the fire closer. Goodbye. I tore at the straps with my wire cutters and knife. I could only work when the field was off. The Protect protected itself. Finally, I ripped the harness off just as the field went on, and I was thrown 20 feet into the fire. But I landed on my feet and was off and running. It took the Tellians just 100 yards to catch up and gently lay a stone club along the side of my head. Well, let's get it over with. You're going to kill me. Let's not make a production out of it.
Oh, but my dear fellow, we don't want to kill you.
Dear me, no. We knew you were a good man. It was the devil we wanted.
I don't mean to be tactless, but you do know you had a devil riding on your back.
We tried to purify him, but he was too strong. The fire took the starch out of him, though.
The devil? Devil on my back? Oh, yeah, I guess so, yes.
You know, our village is very proud to have such a powerful devil chained up inside a fire ring.
Tell me, my dear chap, you haven't by any chance any more devils like that in your homeland?
No, that's the only one.
Pity.
Huh?
We'd really be tickled orange if we could have a few more to worship, you know.
You mean trade for them?
Why, yes. I'm sure every village would want one.
Well, I think that can be arranged. And you haven't seen anything. We'll sell you devils that really are devils. After all, this one is just an early model.
Fred Collins again, and I'll be back to tell you a word about tonight's X-1 in a moment.
Bob Barker. Yes, Ralph? Bob, I just want to say that I heard you emceeing the Truth or Consequences program on NBC Radio, and I thought you were great, boy.
Well, that's
real,
quite a compliment.
Real great. I mean it.
Coming from none other than Ralph Edwards, the creator of and original Truth or Consequences MC. You really liked the show, Ralph?
Oh, I'll say I did. It was wonderful hearing it on radio again. Sounded better than ever.
Well, no one should know better than you, Ralph. But really, we just can't miss. Our contestants are wonderful.
Yes,
The
I
stunts
know.
are out of this world.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise family reunions, the gigantic whisper contest.
Yes.
A dream world of jackpot prizes, especially for NBC radio listeners.
Really?
And not just once a week, Ralph, but every weekday morning.
No
That's
kidding.
right. Monday through Friday. Can you beat it?
I'm going to right now, Bob. So long, folks.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features Make Me an Offer by Con Blomberg. Galaxy Magazine on your newsstand today. Tonight, X-1 has brought you Early Model, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by Robert Sheckley and adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in our cast were Bob Hastings, Joseph Bell, Anthony Kemble Cooper, and Alastair Duncan. This is Fred Collins speaking. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
There's excitement in the air at night, and Nightline brings it to you. Here in Nightline with Walter O'Keefe. Next on most of these NBC stations.
The signal to submerge the magic island, the weird island of Euclidia. On board the Gregory yacht, Captain Bradford and Mrs. Gregory hurriedly transfer their valuables to the other captive boat, which is to be used in the escape, as they await anxiously for word from Jerry and Joan. The youngsters have gone down into the mysterious depths of the island in a brave attempt to cripple the Euclidean machinery and postpone pursuit of the Gregory boat. The boat is supposed to steal out of the lock at 8 o'clock. It is now after 7:30. How can Jerry and Joan get back to the yacht in time, if they get back at all? They are now making their way up a narrow and dangerous spiral concrete tube running from the top to the bottom of the island.
Are you doing all right, Joan?
I'm very tired, Jerry, but I will reach the platform.
Gee, we've climbed 50 feet up the inside of this cement baggage chute.
Not quite. It will be 50 feet when we get to that little platform.
Okay, kid. Don't lose your nerve. Now then, I've got my back braced against this thing. I think I can hold you. Let one of your feet slide. Slow now.
Oh.
Slide it down the wall and see if I can hold it with my hand.
I feel as if I would fall, Jerry. You must hurry.
I got your foot all right, Joan. Now, I'll push as hard as I can without sliding down this thing. You try to crawl up far enough to get your hands over the edge of the platform. Ready?
I nearly have it. Yes, I have my hands on it.
Good. Then start pulling yourself up as hard as you can. I'll help you.
I think I can get on it now. Oh, Jerry, I am up.
Oh, swell. Now, if I can only stick here like a fly until I get my breath, I'll see if I can get up there.
This platform is large enough for me to lie down on. I will lie flat and hold my arms down to you. Then I can help you up.
Yeah. If I don't pull you off of there and both of us shoot down this thing again.
Oh, Jerry, I have found a small concrete arch behind which I may hook my heels. So, now I will be able to hold you. Give me your hands. Don't be afraid, Jerry. I can hold you easily.
Okay. Now I get my elbow up on this thing. Here we come. Oh, boy.
Oh, that was a terrible experience. And we are only halfway up now. This platform is on the 5th level.
Well, then we'll just have to go out into the 5th level, take our chances with what we find there. Neither of us can make another 50 feet of that.
You are right. It would be impossible.
Our hands and feet are probably all cut up now. Climbing 50 feet in a concrete pipe with your bare hands and stocking feet doesn't put you in very good shape for more climbing.
I think we are in our bare feet now, Jerry. The stockings must be cut to ribbons.
Oh, can I turn my flashlight on for a minute? I want to see what shape we're in before we run out there. We can be ready to answer questions about what happened to us when we find out what did happen.
I think you may use the light, Jerry.
Okay. Oh, gee, Joan. Your feet are cut up awful bad. I'm sorry.
You do not stop to be sorry now, Jerry. Listen.
Gee, they're still submerging this thing.
No, Jerry. They have not started to submerge it as yet.
But we heard the signal when we started to climb up here. And that must have taken us 15 or 20 minutes.
But the signal we heard just now, those 6 strokes on the alarm gong, means to stand by all stations to submerge. It must be that they are having trouble with the submerging operation.
Well, I hope we fixed up their old power plant so they can't ever submerge this crazy Euclidia again.
There is little hope there. It will be only a matter of time until they pump out the water that we let into the power chambers.
Then let's get going. We've got to make it to that radio room on the top and get a message off to Johnson before this goes under.
That signal to submerge will have taken all men to their stations, and there are no control stations in the sound channel. This platform opens off the sound channel. We will have to take a desperate chance, Jerry.
That won't be anything new for us. What is it?
We must cross the sound room and enter the private elevator of the control group.
Well, I'm ready to take the chance. Where will that elevator take us?
Directly into the voice transmission chambers on the surface of Euclidia. Then we will have to take over the controls and send the message.
Sounds easy. Okay, my little barefoot boy. Here we go.
Open the door gently, Jerry. Be sure that no one is in the sound chamber.
Yeah, check. Huh? No. Looks okay. I'm glad this is one of those noiseless doors.
Go on into the room, Jerry. We must hurry.
Yeah. Here we go, then. Now, where is that elevator?
In that corner of the room. We must pass through the sound zone. Do not shout as you did before.
Okay, I'll watch it. But what are we going to do if we find somebody waiting for us at the top of that elevator? Hey, listen to my voice.
Yes, Jerry. I warned you not to shout.
And now our bare feet sound like we had boots on.
We will be out of the zone in a few steps.
It'll be all right with me. I like noise when I want it, but when I'm trying to be quiet and... Hey, now the voice comes out right side up again.
And we are approaching the private elevator.
And when we get in this thing, can they hear our voices in the control room?
Certainly. We will be able to say nothing until we arrive in the control room on the surface level. Then I will speak to the guard, find some excuse to make him turn his back to me, and use the ray gun on him. That will give you 5 minutes to get the message to Johnson. Now open the door, Jerry.
Okay.
Speak no word until we meet the guard.
Yeah. You'd better run the elevator when we get in it. I never saw how this one works.
I shall do so. We may count the levels as we pass by the magnets moving the car. Now silence.
At which time you will report immediately to the control chamber. Station 91, Station 91, You will use all speed in discovering cause of delay in submerging. Check the entire 9th level by photo ray, at which time you will report immediately to the control chamber. Emergency diving stations. Signal to submerge. Repeat at 60-second intervals until operation begins. Signal stand by to submerge. Clear all channels to this chamber. Execute. What are you doing here, Cleostra?
I have come with this prisoner. He was given permission to go to the laboratory to aid in reviving the sleeping scientists. When we arrived at the laboratory, he refused. I was instructed to return him to the surface.
You young man, sit over there, in that steel chair. Not there. Over here. Must I put you in the chair?
Gee, you did it again, Joan. You're sure slick with that ray gun.
He will sleep for 5 minutes, Jerry. That is not long. We must operate the voice transmission apparatus at once.
Is he the only guard in this place?
In this room, yes. Though in the power dispatching chamber directly below us, another guard is on duty.
Well, wouldn't he hear this ray gun go off?
No. That door leads to his room. It is closed and soundproof.
This seems too easy to me. Is there always just one guard in these places?
Of course not. But the others are busy trying to revive the sleeping chemists and preparing to submerge the island.
Yes, but if
Oh, Jerry, please. This is no time to argue. I will set the transmitter on the northerly directional beam. We must raise Johnson at once. I will also close all these local communication circuits so that there is no danger of anything we say being heard elsewhere on the island. Oh, Jerry.
Huh? What's the matter now?
This microphone was open. The intercommunicating circuit to the lower levels.
Gee, then somebody might have heard that ray gun.
Yes. Hurry with the message, Jerry.
Well, where do I talk? I mean, where's the beam thing I want?
Directly in front of you now, Jerry. I will give you the message quietly. You may repeat it. Get any station quickly.
Right. Here we go. J12C, Jerry Hall to any station. Emergency. Can you hear me, Wilmington? Hurry it up. Hello, J12C. Hello.
Hello. Waiting for hours with set wide open. Shoot it fast. I'm ready.
Here it comes. Take it over, Joan. You can save time if I don't have to repeat it.
Joan Gregory to J12C. Message from Bradford. This is it. Every indication going have trouble. Possibly may feel unwise even leave free in this yacht. Many islanders lying enforced sleep. Doesn't indicate especially sincere enjoyment. Longer unusual silence envelops. Our waiting now. Perhaps later advice, nearer solution. That is all.
Right. Checking now. Your position sounds hopeless, but we'll let you know if I can contact the ship station. Anything else?
That is all.
Nice work, Joan. Johnson's got our message. But how far from the island is he? And how long will it take him to get here?
I have copied his answer. I think the captain will have a code for it.
Got your message here on the yacht. Good work, kids, but it's no use. They're pulling the yacht inside the lock again. And we're going to be submerged with the island. Better stay where you are. Dangerous to try getting back to yacht now.
We'll be all right here, Tex. We'll come through the island and meet you in the lock.
Right. Have cut Johnson's boat adrift. Orders from the island. Lock too small for 2 boats. So Johnson's boat is a total loss. Drifting out to sea.
The captain said they had cut the other boat loose, Jerry. And the yacht is being taken into the lock. Oh, that is wonderful.
You bet it's wonderful. Those guys don't know they're taking an empty boat into the lock. And that Captain Bradford and your mother and all our friends are on the boat they've turned loose. It's out in the open water now, Joan. The boat is free.
They've started to submerge, Jerry. In a moment, this room will be going underwater.
Then we'll swim for it. Come on, Joan. At least we can float, but Euclidia is sunk.
When Jerry and Joan went down into the lower levels of the Magic Island, it was a desperate chance. But they succeeded in flooding the power rooms and cutting off most of the power on the island. Now they are in the radio chamber, sending instructions to Johnson, who is waiting north of the island, with another boat to aid in their escape. Captain Tex Bradford, Mrs. Gregory, and their crew are hidden in one of the captive boats, while Mrs. Gregory's yacht has been drawn into a lock and will be submerged with the island. The signal to submerge is being repeated as Jerry and Joan rush their plans in the radio room on top of the island. It is after dark, just 10 minutes before 8 o'clock. exactly 10 minutes before the time planned for their escape.
That's all I've got time for now, J12C. Things are happening pretty fast here. We'll let you know as soon as you can safely call us on another wavelength.
Right, Jerry. I'll be standing by exactly as directed in your last message. Good luck, all. I'll keep it open till you call again.
Okay, Johnson. That's all. Gee, Joan, are you sure it was safe for me to come right out and talk to Johnson like that? What was that signal mean?
The submerging operation will actually begin now.
Well, let's get busy. What do we have to do?
I can do it much faster alone. You watch that guard on the floor. Remember, I only used a 300-second ray on him. The 5 minutes are nearly up. When he awakens, the instant he starts to move, use the ray gun again. Be sure it strikes him in the back of the neck.
Okay, Joan. I'll watch him. Hey, what are you doing down there?
First, I'll lock the guard in the room below. The magnetic locks will hold him until released by someone else. I throw the magnet, so...
Oh, now he can't get out to bother us, huh?
No. Now I will set all these levers in order. That will lock every chamber on the island, and it will be some time before any of the Euclideans will be able to pursue us, I think.
Boy, you sure know this island. Hey, did you feel the island shake a little bit then?
Yes, Jerry. The submerging has begun. But it will be very slow with the power rooms flooded as we left them. We will have ample time to lock all these levers.
Gee, I just got him in time. He sure started to wake up fast. Now we'll sleep for another 5 minutes, huh?
Yes. There. I think I have locked every chamber on the island.
Then we can send that last message to Johnson and get out of here, can't we?
At once. You may send it now, Jerry. You will be quite safe. Even if some station within the island might receive the message, they would be unable to act on it.
Swell. Here goes. Jerry Hall of J12C. Hello, Johnson. Hello.
Hello, Jerry. Go ahead.
Joan and I are just leaving the radio room on top of the island. They're starting to submerge the island. That's all from here.
Good luck, Jerry.
Now
you can hear me, Jerry. Better get off that island quick. The surface is going underwater now.
Did you hear that, Joan? We've only got a minute.
Oh, Jerry, please hurry. You and Joan must get off the island at once. The surface is nearly covered with water now.
Okay, Mrs. Gregory. Don't worry. We've got some light preservers. Joan and I will float with them and wait for you to pick us up if we have to. Hold tight and don't worry.
The water is coming slowly up to the door, Jerry. Open the door and let it run in gradually.
I got it. Then it won't knock us over when we open it.
Yes. Now we will take 2 of these life rings and lay them on the floor. So. Hurry and help me, Jerry.
Hey, what are you putting them on the floor for?
Help me with this guard. We will roll him over on his back and lay him on top of these 2 rings. Then we can float him out to the boat with us.
Gee, won't that tickle Captain Bradford? A Euclidean prisoner.
Hurry, Jerry.
Okay. Boy, he's a heavy fellow. I can roll his shoulders over. You get his feet.
Yes.
Now then, there we go.
Ooh, we did not get him on the rings too soon. The water is coming in the door. Take these other 2 rings and throw them in the water for us, Jerry.
Right. There they go.
Now I will take the guard's ray guns. I think Captain Tex will enjoy studying these.
You're a honey, Joan.
Hurry, Jerry. There is no time to call me names.
Okay, what next?
The water is rising rapidly now. Push the guard out the door and stand there holding him steady. I will bring our life rings with me.
Okay, I'll push him out all right, but you'd better hurry and come too. This water's getting pretty deep here.
One moment, Jerry. Calling Captain Bradford. Hello, Captain.
Hello, Joan. Why aren't you kids off there?
We are leaving now. We have lighted life rings. Within 60 seconds, the island will be covered safely for your boat. No danger from Euclideans now. You may start your motors, and after 1 minute, you may cross the island to us.
Right, Joan. Good kid. How far can we see those lights on your life preservers?
You will see them for 200 yards or more. Will you please have a landing stage down for a prisoner?
Yes, but what?
Hurry up, Joe. The water's almost up to my waist now.
Coming, Jerry. The rising water just cut the radio out.
What are we going to do if this guard wakes up again before the boat gets here? Will these ray guns work underwater?
Not well, Jerry, but I have one in my hair. It will be dry on top of my head, and I will use it when the time comes.
Hey, how do you turn lights on in these life preservers? I can't find any.
Feel around the edge. You will find a metal cap screwed on a valve. Take it off quickly. I have mine ready.
Fix mine, too. I'll take care of the boyfriend here.
The island is sinking rapidly now. My feet are not touching.
I can just touch the bottom. Oh, there it goes. Gee, these rings sure hold you up nice. Hey, look at the steam come out of them. Boy, look at it shine. Does that make a lot of light?
I think the guard is stirring, Jerry.
Well, we've got his gun. We can handle him all right. And he'll be easier to get on the boat if he can climb on it.
I will take no chances with him. Now he will not bother us for another 5 minutes.
I'll bet that guy's getting awful tired, waking up and being put back to sleep all the time. What makes that light come out of these life rings, Joan?
The life ring is really 2 concentric rings. The inner ring contains a very light gas. The ring will support 300 pounds, and the outer ring contains a dry fluorescent salt, which gives off the fluorescent gas you see when touched by water.
Boy, Hey, listen.
Yes, the motor's on the boat. The captain is exactly right for time. The island should be 30 feet below us by the time he gets here.
Boy, this is sure going to make a story for the folks back home.
I will be so glad to see your world, Jerry, and to live with my mother in her comfortable and safe home.
Hey, Joan, how about the commander? She helped us out a lot. It's too bad to leave her here with these Euclideans. She wanted to escape with us.
She will not be suspected of having helped us, Jerry, and sometime we may get the chance to aid her.
Yeah, I guess so. That boat's getting closer.
Yes.
Now they've got the searchlight on us.
But they should save all their power for the radio.
Hey, Tex! Ahoy, the bridge there.
Stand by where you are. Look out for the swell. The landing stage is ready.
Ooh. Hang on tight, Joan. We're going to get rocked around.
Yes. Oh, the motors are being reversed. There is the landing stage, Jerry.
Yeah. I'll shove the guard over to it. You hang on to my life ring for me.
Yes. The captain will want these rings.
Hey, Tex. We're at the stage.
Coming down, kid. Are you both all right?
How are you, Joan, dear? Oh, I am fine, Mother.
Here, Joan, let me give you a hand up. You and Jerry go up on deck. I'll get the skipper to help me with this prisoner.
He is only asleep, Captain. It would be well to have him carefully searched and under heavy guard when he awakes.
Right. Now, come on, up you go. I'll join you kids in the cabin.
Okay, Tex. Come on, Joan.
Yes. Oh, Joan, my dear, I've been so afraid for you. Oh, but we were in no danger, Mother. Joan, my dear little daughter.
Oh, everything's all right now, Mrs. Gregory. You and Joan go in the cabin. I'll come in after I send the skipper down to Tex.
Oh, it is good to be back with you, Mother dear.
You'll never know how I suffered while you and Jerry were down inside that terrible island.
But you see, we have returned quite safely.
Yes, dear, but we didn't know that you would. Now, in you go, Joan. We'll get some dry clothes for you.
No, Mother. I am quite warm. Oh, Mother, those dear little homing pigeons. You had brought them into this cabin.
Yes, Joan. We hid them in the radio cabin on the yacht and took them with us when we made the last trip to this boat.
Oh, but they are so clever, these small birds. And it is thanks to them that we are free from the island.
No doubt of it, Joan. If it hadn't been for these homing pigeons, Johnson would never have been able to get the last message to us, or the captain get his real formula instructions to Johnson.
And when we get back to your home in California, will we see more of these pigeons?
Not only will you see lots of them, but I'm going to give you and Jerry each a pair for your very own, so that you may train them to carry messages between our home and Jerry's.
Oh, Mother, that will be nice.
Oh, boy, this is sure swell. Hiya, Mrs. Gregory.
I'm very, very happy, Jerry. It was bad with you and Joan gone.
J12C to J24Y. J12C to J24Y. Can you hear me?
I'll get it, Mrs. Gregory.
All right.
Hello, Johnson. Jerry Hall, back on J24Y. We're in the clear. Island submerged, and we're running away from it. How's that?
Fine, Jerry. Is Bradford there?
He's out on deck. Hang on, and I'll get him. Here's Tex now. It's Johnson, Captain.
Okay, Jerry. Hello, Johnson. We got away right on time. Where are you?
Due north of island. I have arranged fuel supply for you 50 miles north of island. Can you make that?
We'll make it wide open. Good man, Johnson. That all?
That's all. And good luck, everybody.
Oh, Captain, we are really free.
Yes, isn't it wonderful?
Yes, Pat. You've actually found Joan, and we're safely on our way home.
Hey, Joan, how did you get the little homing pigeons in here?
Mother had them brought in, Jerry. Are they not nice?
Boy, those little guys sure saved all of us.
So happy. We're really going home.
Yes, Pat. It's been pretty bad at times, but it'll be a wonderful experience to come back someday and take charge of that island with plenty of help.
Boy, gee, That'd be swell.
Yes, dearie. But now, let's think of nothing but home. Home.
Yeah. Gee. Home. My dad and Hollywood Boulevard and... Oh, golly, whiskers.
Joan, dear, you're so quiet. Aren't you happy, too?
Happy? Oh, Mother. I'm so happy Oh, golly whiskers.
The program you are about to hear is fiction, science fiction. We make no guarantees, however, how long it will remain fiction.
Exploring tomorrow. And now here is your guide to these adventures of the mind, the editor of Astounding Science Fiction magazine, John Campbell, Jr.
Let's consider the proposition that interplanetary spaceflight has become a commercial proposition. There are regular liners running between the planets. And the Martian Queen, we'll say, is such a liner. A spaceship making a short-run orbit from Mars to Earth. This time she's carrying 150 passengers and a crew of 30 or so. She's made a long, uneventful trip from space, and now she's approaching the last leg of her voyage, the deceleration for landing.
Your attention, please. Throughout the trip, artificial gravity has been maintained by spin around the long axis of the ship. In 3 minutes, the gyros will begin to slow the spin. We have to stop the rotation around the axis of the ship in order to apply thrust along it. Please get into your bunks and fasten your safety belts.
At the appointed time, gyros cut in, slowing the spin on the ship. When the rotation had stopped, the skipper of the Martian Queen and his navigator were ready to begin the actual landing.
How's our course, Bill?
Dead on, Captain Deering. We're approaching Earth a little over 60 miles per second.
I hate to land at this speed. How much time do we have?
15 seconds. The rocket tubes are aligned properly with respect to Earth. The timer is set. Ready?
Strapped in and ready. Keep her on automatic till the last 5,000 feet. I'll bring her down from there manually.
Right, sir. There she goes.
Blue, the engine room. Get engineering on the intercom. We're out of control. We're dropping straight toward Earth.
The Martian Queen had been heading towards White Sands Spaceport. And as a matter of course, the radar teams at White Sands had been alerted for the landing. They had the ship pinpointed in their screens, and when the Martian Queen stopped decelerating, they knew there was something wrong. The major in charge of Control Tower 1 put in a fast emergency call to the commanding officer of White Sands Spaceport.
General Stanley speaking. What's that, Major? The Martian Queen. Where? Yes, I understand. All right, get all data you can on her. Now, keep the radar tracking as long as possible and try to compute an orbit. I want to know where she's going to hit. And get a tight beam communications line to that ship. I want to speak to Captain Deering personally. Yes, Major, I'll be right over. Sergeant, get my Jeep out in front fast. We're going to Control Tower 1. I'll be ready to gun it. This is a Class AAA emergency. And, Major, have you made tight beam connections with the Martian Queen? Yes, sir. Good. Now I'll take the microphone. Hello, Captain Deering. This is General Stanley at White Sands. Can you hear me?
This is Deering. You're coming in fine, General.
What the devil happened up there?
Explosion in the engine room. Don't know what caused it. 4 men dead and the rocket troops are gone.
What about the main converter?
Almost completely gone. It's one that didn't blow into fragments when it went. There's plenty of heat and radiation. The engine crew must have died almost instantly.
Well, what about the secondary converters?
Nothing left of them but molten metal and slag.
You've got no way to slow down the ship or change its course?
No way whatever, General. Our only hope is that we don't hit Earth. If we are on a collision course, we're finished.
I know. Let's hope you go on past Earth without hitting it. Now, we have a radar fix on you, but it isn't accurate at this distance. Now, get your navigator busy. Now, we want your coordinates and velocity as close as you can figure them. Oh, keep this line open. I'll call you as soon as I can get more information.
Right. I'll get Clement busy on those figures. Over.
Oh, well. Oh, Major. Yes, sir. Keep that line open no matter what happens. As soon as Captain Deering gives you those figures, have them coded and put through the big computer. Try to get a closer radar fix and put that data through the computer, too. I want an orbit on the Martian Queen that's as close as skin. Got it? Yes, sir. Good. And keep this whole thing quiet. Nobody is to know that the Martian Queen is in trouble till I've notified the Secretary of Special Affairs in Washington. Meanwhile, I'll have to use your phone. Operator, this is Major General Stanley. I want to put in a person-to-person emergency call to the Secretary of Special Affairs, Washington, D.C. Call me back as soon as he's on the line. There are lives at stake. Hello, Experimental Station. General Stanley here. Now, let me talk to Colonel Osmore. I don't care what he's doing. Get him on the phone. Colonel Osmore, Stanley. What's the top acceleration of that new experimental job? That's right, the XV-19. Good. I want you to have it loaded, primed, and ready to go within 10 minutes. Emergency. I'll say it's an emergency. I want you to move faster than you've ever moved before. I want the XV-19 rocket out on the launching pad and ready within 10 minutes. Now, that's an order. And keep this under your hat. If a word of this leaks out or if that ship isn't ready to go on time, I'll see to it that you never wear those birds on your shoulder again. Is that clear? Good. Keep your line open for further orders.
60 miles per second isn't terribly fast as far as celestial objects are concerned. But 60 miles per second is 216,000 miles per hour. And when the Martian Queen had had her accident, she was already close in to Earth. Something had to be done within the next 25 minutes. But what can be done in only 25 minutes?
Captain, I just got word from First Officer Haggerty. There's trouble. Some of the passengers are getting space sick from being in free fall. They're wondering why the ship isn't decelerating.
Just have to take it a while longer. Did you get those figures relayed down to General Stanley?
Yes, they said to hold on and give us the data as soon as possible. But the passengers...
I know. What did you want me to do? Tell them that the Martian Queen might be headed for the biggest, most spectacular crack-up in history? That'd be real smart, wouldn't it?
Well, I didn't mean it that way, Skipper. I was...
Thanks, the radio phone. That's White Sands again. Deering here.
Deering, this is Stanley. How's everything?
The same as ever. No propulsion, no escape. How does our orbit look?
We have your coordinates down to a hair. We know within a mile or two where you'll hit.
Then we will hit Earth. Well, that does it, doesn't it?
I'm afraid so. If nothing happens between now and then, you're going to get a hot dunk in the ocean.
I see. Where will we hit?
Give or take a mile or so, you'll hit Long Island Sound, about 10 miles south of Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Well, you do what has to be done, General. You can depend on me for my end of it.
I knew I could. Well, I'll let you know how things work out.
I'll be waiting.
The seconds tick by, and every second that passes brings the Martian Queen 60 miles closer to Earth. At that speed, it doesn't take long to move a few thousand miles. The Martian Queen was heading toward death at 3,600 miles a minute.
Captain Deering, this is Stanley again. Colonel Osmore just phoned. We're sending up the XV-19. A super-fast high-acceleration rocket. It's the only thing that can possibly reach you in time, and even so, it'll be a close thing. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get in touch with the Secretary of Special Affairs, but he's out of his office right now. I'll let you know when to expect the rocket.
All right, General. We'll be ready. Over.
Over.
Captain, I just came from the dining hall. Some of the passengers got out of their bunks and looked out the big viewport. And then they could see Earth, and they could see we're falling toward it. One of them started fighting with First Officer Haggerty, and the thing has ended up in a riot.
The crazy fools. There's no time to be fighting. Can't the crew do anything?
They're trying, but it's pretty rough.
Give me that microphone. Your attention, please. This is Captain Deering. Now, please, your attention. There has been an accident. The drive engines of the ship have been disabled, and we're in a free-fall orbit. However, there is no reason to become panicked. We are in contact with White Sands Spaceport, and we've been notified that everything is under control. Now, some of you have been worried by the sight of Earth through the viewport, but I assure you we are in no danger of striking Earth. I repeat, the Martian Queen absolutely will not strike Earth. I'm well aware that this gravity-less condition is uncomfortable to many of you, but please have patience.
It will only last for a few more minutes. I suggest that all of you return to your cabins and strap yourselves in. If acceleration were to return suddenly, anyone not strapped down might be seriously hurt. Please return to your cabins. Thank you.
Well, that'll help some. Blevin, you go down and talk to them. Give them the same sort of information I gave them. And, Blevin. Yes, sir? Isn't one of the passengers a minister? Oh, yes, sir. The Reverend James Taylor, I think his name is. He was a missionary on Mars. Yeah, well, get him to help you. Sometimes people will listen to a clergyman when they won't pay attention to a space officer. Right, sir. I'll do what I can. Just a minute. That's Stanley.
Yes, Deering here. Deering, the XV-19 is on the launching pad now, loaded and ready to go. I haven't been able to get hold of the Secretary of Special Affairs yet, but there isn't time to wait. I just got the signal, Deering. The XV-19 has left the launching pad. It will be up to you to guide it into the Martian Queen. Good luck, Deering.
Thanks. But you'll need the good luck more than I will. So, good luck and goodbye. Okay, Blevin. Go down and give them a speech.
This is Major General Stanley at White Sands Spaceport. I have been trying to get the Secretary of Special Affairs person-to-person Washington, D.C. It has been 20 minutes now. Wait, he's on the line. All right. Oh, hello, Mr. Secretary.
Hello, General. I got to my office as soon as I heard. I've read the teletype report that you sent to my office. Is the Martian Queen definitely going to land in Long Island Sound?
If it isn't stopped, yes.
Well, is there any way at all of getting the drive going again?
No, sir. Captain Deering stated flatly that the main converter and the secondaries are absolutely and completely ruined. It would take weeks to repair them. We only have minutes.
Then we'll have to send up a rescue ship.
That's impossible, sir. A rescue ship would never make it in time. It would have to accelerate to take off, decelerate to match the Martian Queen's velocity, and then accelerate to keep from hitting Earth along with the Queen. All in all, it would take more than an hour, using every bit of acceleration a human being could stand.
Then there's absolutely no way we can save them.
None whatever, sir. There just isn't time.
Well, just lucky this time, I suppose.
Lucky? What do you mean?
Well, it could have been worse. What if it landed in a populated area like New York City instead of Long Island Sound?
You don't understand, Mr. Secretary. It isn't the Long Island Sound we have to worry about. It's the spaceship sound.
What do you mean?
Just what I said. It doesn't matter whether the Martian Queen hits Long Island Sound or New York City itself. The results will be almost the same. It's the sound waves, the noise that will do the damage.
I don't quite understand.
You know what happens when a supersonic jet plane flies too low over a city, don't you? At 1,500 miles an hour, the shock wave from a jet plane can break windows from miles around. What do you think will happen when that spaceship comes in at 216,000 miles an hour? It will flatten every structure within a 50-mile radius. If that ship hits Long Island Sound, New York City will be toppling in ruins before it ever arrives. From Newark, New Jersey to Hartford, Connecticut, that shock wave will knock over everything standing.
Can we evacuate the area?
In a few minutes? Well, hardly.
And what do you suggest, General?
There's only one thing we can possibly do. Send up a rocket with an atomic bomb in it and blow that ship into gas before it hits.
Are you crazy, General? Blow up 180 innocent people? I can't permit that. It's murder.
Murder? Is it murder to kill people who are already doomed? Is it murder to save the lives of 20 million people?
There must be another way. General, I order you to send up a rescue ship immediately.
Listen, you blockhead. Do you understand that it is impossible to send up a rescue ship? Do you understand that I can't pull miracles out of a hat? We could no more get a rescue ship up there in time than we could catch the Martian Queen with our bare hands.
You can't talk to me that way, General.
I'm sorry. I'm simply trying to get you to understand there's only one way out. Those people in that spaceship are going to die, no matter what we do. It would be better if they died without taking a few million more people with them.
There must be some other way.
Do you have any suggestions?
Well, no.
Exactly. There isn't any other way. Now, do I have your permission to send up that bomb?
No. We've got to think of something else.
It's no use. I just looked at the clock, Mr. Secretary. It's too late to do anything at all now. Even if you ordered it, a rocket bomb leaving this instant would be too late.
General, you have to do something. All those people...
Don't worry, Mr. Secretary. The Martian Queen won't hit the Earth. There won't be any crash. I sent up an XV-19 rocket down to robot control several minutes ago. It was loaded with a thermonuclear warhead. I would have liked to have had your permission, but there simply was no time.
You've already blown it up?
That's right. I did it with Captain Deering's cooperation, of course. He knew it was the only way to prevent the destruction of 20 million people. So he guided the missile into his own ship. The Martian Queen was vaporized over a minute ago.
I presume you know what this means, General?
I know what it means. I'll have to be court-martialed because most people won't understand why I did it any more than you did. Even if I get out of it with a whole skin, I lose everything I've ever worked for. But that's a small matter compared with the satisfaction of knowing that I saved the lives of 20 million human beings. Maybe those people will understand why Captain Deering and I did what we did. And they're the ones who count.
Yes, as time goes by, things do change, but the fundamental things apply. And the most fundamental of all, really, is you can't walk out on a problem and just let it take care of itself. By the time it gets taken care of, it's ready to take care of you, but good.
Join us each Wednesday and Friday night for a fascinating adventure in Exploring Tomorrow. Script was by Paul Anderson. Produced and directed by Sanford Marshall here in New York. This is Mutual, the world's largest network.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman! Up in the sky! Look! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper. Convinced that Superman knows something about the brutal murder of Dr. Chi Wan, Oriental scholar and art collector, Lois Lane, star girl reporter for the Daily Planet, persuades editor Perry White to print an appeal to Superman to step forward and tell all he knows. A telegram arrives in response to the appeal, a telegram that says, "I will meet you in the Carson Mansion at 8 tonight. Signed, Superman." Lois and Perry White leave to keep the appointment. In the meantime, Clark Kent, who has gone to pay a call on Walter Huffman, a dealer in jewels he suspects of being involved in Chi Wan's murder, returns to the newspaper office. As he enters the editorial department, young Jimmy Olsen hails him. Listen.
Mr. Kent, wait a minute.
Oh, what is it, Jimmy?
Gee Willikins, where were you?
Oh, I just stepped out for a while. Why, what's cooking?
Well, Mr. White was looking for you. He got a telegram. It must have been important, because he and Miss Lane left in an awful hurry. They said they couldn't wait for you.
Well, what was the telegram about?
Gee, I don't know, but when Mr. White read it, he said, "Great Scott." You don't think maybe it had something to do with Chi Wan and the dragon's teeth, do you?
Oh. We'll take a look in Mr. White's office. Maybe we can find the wire.
Boy, this sure is getting exciting.
When did they leave, Jimmy?
Oh, about 20 minutes ago.
Uh-huh. Close the door, Jimmy. Will you?
Okay.
Oh, let's have a look here. Over here. No, there's no telegram on his desk. Take a look in the waste paper basket, Jimmy.
Okay. No, I don't see it.
Try and remember, Jimmy. Didn't Lois or Mr. White say who the telegram was from?
No, they didn't. No, it's not in the waste paper basket either.
Wait a minute. We're just a couple of dumbbells. All we've got to do is call the telegraph office and get a copy of the wire.
Sure, that's right, Mr. Kent.
Oh, operator, get me the telegraph office. That's right. You say they left in a hurry, Jimmy?
And how? I didn't even get a chance to ask Miss Lane what was up.
Wait a minute. Hello? Telegraph office? This is the Daily Planet. Yes.
We received a wire about a half hour ago. That's right. And we'd like to get a copy of it. Yes.
Precious minutes slip away as Clark Kent endeavors to learn the contents of the mysterious telegram. Meanwhile, Lois Lane and Perry White are waiting in the musty darkness of the deserted Carson mansion, listening to the distant peal of a church bell striking the hour of 8.
What's that, Mr. White? That noise.
Church bell, tolling the hour. We're just on time.
Mr. White, do you think he's here?
We'll find out soon enough. Of all the wet, foul-smelling places I ever saw, this is the worst I've ever been.
Someone opened the door.
It might have been the wind.
No. Your footsteps.
All right. Who's there? Who's there?
I don't hear the footsteps anymore.
I'm going to strike a match.
Don't strike any matches.
Who are you?
I am Superman.
That voice, Mr. White. It isn't Superman.
How do we know you're Superman? Show yourself.
That I cannot do. You will have to believe me. You ask for information? I'm ready to give it to you.
Ask him what he was doing at Dr. Wan's house.
What were you doing at Chi Wan's house the night he was killed?
What difference does that make? You're interested only in one thing. The man who committed the crime.
Who was it?
Listen to me. Listen carefully. The man who killed Chi Wan.
Gee whiz, Mr. Kent. What makes you so sure Superman didn't send that telegram to Mr. White?
Jimmy, you've asked me that same question a dozen times. I'm sure he didn't.
Yeah, but what makes you so sure? Are you Superman's personal friend or something?
What?
I said, are you Superman's personal friend?
Why, of course not. Whatever gave you that idea?
Well, you're so positive he didn't send that telegram to Mr. White. I thought maybe he told you he didn't.
No, he didn't tell me anything. Nobody told me anything. Just keep your shirt on now. We'll get to the bottom of this in short order.
Okay.
That's the Carson mansion up ahead.
What are you stopping for?
I think we'll go the rest of the way on foot. Come on, Jim.
Say, there's a car in the driveway, Mr. Kent.
Yes. Mr. White's car. Keep your voice down, Jimmy.
The house is all boarded up.
Mm-hmm. It's been empty for years. Here, get on the grass. That gravel makes a racket.
Okay. Do you think Miss Lane and Mr. White are inside the house?
I imagine so. Come on. We'll sneak up to this window. Some of the boards have been torn loose and the glass is broken.
Listen to me. Listen carefully.
I hear a voice.
Quiet, Jimmy.
The man who killed T1 is known to me and me alone.
Mr. Kent, did you hear that?
Quiet, Jimmy.
Who is that man? Who killed T1?
That's Mr. White talking.
Yes, I know. Quiet.
I will be able to tell you within 48 hours. In the meantime, you must make no attempt to find out for yourself.
Why must we wait 48 hours?
Because he doesn't know. He's lying. He isn't Superman.
Gee, Mr. Kent.
You stay here, Jimmy. Don't move from this spot. I'll be back. I figured something like this was happening. Looks like it's high time the real Superman took over.
Now, if this back door is open. No, it's locked. I'd crash through, but I don't want to make too much noise. Yeah, this window will do the trick. Rip the boarding off quietly. Quietly. There, that's one. Blast this noise. Two. One more and I can climb through once I get the window open. There. That does it. Hope nobody heard me. Now to raise the window. And up over the sill. There. This must be the kitchen. I can hear voices from the front of the house. It's a good thing I can see in the dark.
There's nothing I can tell you now. You must wait 48 hours.
No, my phony friend. We're not waiting. I'll just open this door quietly.
But how do we know whether to believe you? How do we know you're Superman?
Who else could I be?
That's what I want to know.
Hey, let go of me!
What's happening? Mr. White!
Wait a minute. I'll light a match.
Did you hear that? Something's happened.
Here's a light now.
Look. There on the floor.
Great Scott. It's a man. Out cold.
Lois! Mr. White!
That sounds like Clark Kent's voice.
Mr. White!
Now, what in the name of heaven are you doing here?
Jimmy and I decided to follow you after we got a copy of that telegram. What happened?
Everything that could happen. Look, consign this match and burn my place.
Here, wait. I've got a flashlight in my pocket. There.
Gee, Willikins. There's a man on the floor. Is that Superman?
No. It's someone who tried to palm himself off as Superman. I still don't know what happened. You see, he was talking to us, telling us we'd have to wait 48 hours before he could let us know who killed Chi-Wan, when suddenly I heard a burst of wind, another man's voice, and then the sound of blows.
Whoever hit him certainly didn't pull his punches. That shiner he's got. I wonder who it was.
Let's get him back to the office where we can question him. You take the flashlight, Lois. Mr. White and I'll carry him.
Shucks, I'm disappointed. I thought sure I was going to see Superman again.
All right, keep moving, Jimmy. A lot of questions to ask this bird, and the sooner we get back to the office.
Now, look here, you. We've wasted enough time. Are you going to talk, or do we have to turn you over to the police?
I told you all I know. He paid me $50 to do the job.
Walter Huffman paid you $50 to impersonate Superman?
That's right. He told me what to do and what to say. I used to be an actor, but I've been out of work for 3 months, and I needed the money.
What happened at the Carson mansion? Who knocked you out?
I don't know. Someone jumped out of the darkness. It felt like a sledgehammer.
Come in. Well, what is it, Reynolds?
I checked Huffman's office. It's closed. Nobody there. Elevator boy says Huffman and the Chinaman left a couple of hours ago. They were carrying bags.
Okay. Here, take this guy out.
Okay.
Call Captain Riley at headquarters and have him picked up.
Yeah.
You said if I talked, you'd let me go.
You didn't talk enough. Take him, Reynolds.
Come on.
Turn you all down.
Well, now where are we?
Exactly right where we started from.
No, we're not. I've got it.
What have you got?
Well, it all ties in. Huffman told this actor to tell you he'd reveal Chi-Wan's killer within 48 hours. Why 48 hours?
You tell me.
Because he needed 48 hours to get away with the 10 pieces of jade, the dragon's teeth.
Where could he get to in 48 hours?
To the west coast, where boats leave for China. Reynolds just told us he was seen leaving his office building carrying bags. Hu Ling, the man who used to work for Dr. Wan, was probably with him.
Kent, I think you've hit it. Call all the airlines. Find out whether he took passage for California. If he did, we'll be on his trail so fast he won't know what happened.
Is Walter Huffman en route to a China-bound boat with the dragon's teeth? Or is Clark Kent jumping to conclusions? Don't forget to tune in next time for a thrilling twist in this strange Oriental drama.
Tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman!
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper. The discovery that Walter Huffman, dealer in precious gems, had disappeared led Clark Kent to believe that Huffman was responsible for the brutal murder of Dr. Chi-Wan, Oriental scholar and art dealer, and, too, that Huffman had in his possession the dragon's teeth, 10 pieces of pure jade that hold the secret of everlasting life. Investigation proved Kent was right. Huffman and Hu Ling, a former Chinese employee of Dr. Wan, are even now en route by transport plane to California, there to board a China-bound boat. As our story continues today, Kent and Lois Lane, star girl reporter, are following in the next plane. Listen.
According to this timetable, we'll land at San Francisco about midnight. Huffman only has a 2-hour start on it.
Well, that may be more than enough, if he can catch a boat.
Well, you checked on that before we left, didn't you?
Yes, there's a freighter sailing from San Francisco at midnight. I wish you hadn't insisted on coming along, Lois. I could have handled this much better alone.
Well, the miracle man.
No, I didn't mean it that way, Lois.
Well, how did you mean it? Now, don't tell me you could have gotten to San Francisco faster than this plane is taking us. Well, maybe you can fly. I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Well, now you're being silly.
Oh, no, not at all. You do everything so well, it isn't beyond the realm of possibility to believe that you can float through the air with the greatest of ease.
Oh, let it go. We've got a long trip ahead of us, so just relax.
Where are we now, Clark?
Passing over the Mississippi. We're 20 minutes behind schedule. Looks like bad weather ahead.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. See those dark patches ahead of us? Storm clouds.
And here comes one of the pilots. Ask him.
Oh, sure. We're running into bad weather, aren't we?
Oh, nothing serious.
Gee, I hope not.
Don't worry, miss.
Don't worry, huh?
Well, there really isn't much to worry about. These big ships are safe enough.
You know, I was thinking that unless we can prove Walter Huffman had something to do with Chi-Wan's murder, well, we're just wasting time and money making this trip.
Oh, what about the dragon's teeth? The 10 pieces of jade?
That, I think, is a fairy tale. Do you believe it?
Believe what?
That the dragon's teeth are endowed with magic properties.
Well, nobody said they were. According to Dr. Wan, each of them is engraved with a Chinese symbol that identifies a medicinal herb found in the mountains of West China.
I know. And when the 10 herbs are ground into a powder, that powder will render the human body free of disease forever. Aye, that'll put an awful lot of doctors out of business.
Well, there may be more to it than you think, Lois. The Chinese, in some respects, are remarkable people. After all, they did discover gunpowder centuries ago. This may be another remarkable discovery that has remained a secret for thousands of years.
Well, I'm from Missouri. You gotta show me. Oh, what happened?
We hit an air pocket. Getting a little rough. You better fasten your safety belt.
Okay. There now. Say, what happens if we run into a storm? Do they land?
No, they usually ride it out by flying above it. They're gaining altitude now. You're not frightened, are you?
Oh, no, but I don't like it too much. Hey, my ears are beginning to ache.
Try and yawn. That usually helps. Oh, here. Chew this piece of gum.
Oh, thanks. Oh!
Another pocket.
Well, what makes the plane drop like that?
Well, it's like being on a boat in a rough sea. You ride up to the crest of a wave and then drop down into the trough. Instead of sea waves, we're running into air waves. That's about the size of it. Is your belt fastened?
Yeah.
Well, we'll probably find good weather further up. They usually do.
Clark, we're turning over.
No, we're not. Just pitching and tossing a little.
Well, I'd feel better if there were more passengers on board, you know it.
Just 2 men up front. Really, Lois, there's really... Oh, that was a bad one. I thought I heard something fall. Yes, I did. The stewardess. She struck her head on a chair arm in the rear of the plane. I'll be right back, Lois.
Don't leave me, please, Clark. I'm frightened.
Now, just sit tight. Nothing can happen.
Well, hurry back, will you?
Oh, this stewardess got a nasty crack. Not cold. I'll just sit her up in a chair. Yeah, that's better. Probably just stunned. Hey, but those motors, they're missing badly. I'm beginning not to like this. Those motors conk out on it, we'll crack up. Maybe I'd better take a hand as Superman. First, out with the lights. Where's that switch? Now, here it is.
Where are you?
Right here, Lois. Be right with you.
Now, the only emergency exit is in the pilot's room up in the nose of the ship. But the door's locked. I could crash through it, but... No, wait. The stewardess has the key. Ah, here it is, right here in her pocket. Boy, those motors won't hold out much longer. We're losing altitude fast. No time to wait. Hope Lois doesn't see me as I pass her seat. Well, here goes. Made it without being seen. Now to slip the key into the door. There we are.
Hey, what are you doing in here?
Never mind that now. This ship's in trouble.
You get back where you belong. Hey, Joe, get that guy out of here.
Okay.
Sorry I have to do this,
buddy,
mister.
Oh!
And now you, Captain.
You get away from me or I'll shoot.
Put that gun down. Put it down, I said.
I want you. Great Scott! That bullet, it just bounced off your chest.
There isn't time to explain that now. Sweet dreams, Captain. Uh-oh. There's a spin. I hope I haven't waited too long. The altimeter. Only 7,000 feet. There's only one thing to do. Get out of this plane and carry it down.
Here, drink some water.
Oh, what happened?
Nothing at all. You just fainted.
The plane was falling, twisting. Then everything went black.
Yes, but the pilot managed to land in an open field.
Well, where are we now?
In a hotel 5 miles from where the plane came down. Now, look, Lois, I've got to go on, and I don't think you're in any condition to travel. Certainly not by plane.
But there's a storm. The plane can't be flying.
Well, I've arranged for a private ship.
You can't fly in weather like this. It's suicide.
Well, the pilot of this plane is an ex-Army aviator. He'll get through. Now, you'd better spend the night here and then take a train back east in the morning.
All right, if you insist.
I think it's best. Tell Mr. White I'll call him the moment something breaks. So long.
Bye. And good luck.
Thanks, Lois.
As he stepped from the elevator on the main floor of the hotel, Clark Kent walked quickly through the lobby, confident that now he could be waiting at San Francisco when Huffman arrived. But unknown to him, 2 bright, beady eyes followed him. The eyes of Walter Huffman. Suddenly, the jeweler speaks to the sallow-skinned Oriental at his side.
Cooling. Did you see that man who just passed through the lobby?
Yes, Huffman.
I may be wrong, but he looked very much like that newspaper reporter who came to see me. Kent, I think his name was. Remember I told you about him?
Yes, I remember. Was that not why we left so quickly, because of him?
Exactly, Huling. I thought they were suspicious, those newspaper people.
How did he find out we were here at this hotel?
That's what bothers me. He couldn't possibly know I decided to stop off here for a few days in case we were being followed.
It's strange. Very strange. Maybe you are mistaken.
Possibly. I'll see. You wait here. I beg your pardon, but is there a Mr. Kent registered?
Mr. Kent, I'll see. No, sir, we have no Mr. Kent.
A newspaper reporter from the East?
No, I'm sorry. Oh, did you say newspaper reporter?
Yes, from the Daily Planet.
Well, now, we have a young lady reporter registered, Miss Lois Lane. She was a passenger on that plane that made a forced landing. And now that you speak of it, sir, there was a gentleman with her. And I think his name was Kent, but he didn't register.
What room is Miss Lane in?
Miss Lane is in 507.
Thank you.
All right, well.
He was right, Oling. It was Kent.
What do we do now?
He's not registered, but another reporter is, a young lady. Follow me.
Yes,
Fifth floor, please.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Now listen closely. The girl, her name is Lois Lane, is in room 507. I must find out what she and Kent are doing here. I will pretend I'm a friend of Kent's. You remain here in the hall. If he returns before I'm through, lead him away on some pretext. You understand?
I understand. Perfect.
Good. I won't be long.
Who's there?
Miss Lane? A friend of Mr. Kent.
Just a moment.
How do you do, Miss Lane? My name is Schmidt.
Yes?
I met Mr. Kent in the lobby. He's an old friend of mine.
Well, won't you come in?
Thank you. Mr. Kent said you had a rather frightening experience. Your plane was forced down?
Yes, it was terrible. I don't suppose I'm much of an air traveler.
How long do you and Mr. Kent expect to stay here?
Well, Clark left already. He's on his way to the coast. I'm returning east by train tomorrow.
Oh, Mr. Kent is on his way to the coast. Business, perhaps?
Yes. Did you say your name was Schmidt?
Edward Schmidt.
Well, if your name's Schmidt, what are the initials WH doing on that handkerchief in your breast pocket?
I
know who you are. You're Walter Huffman. Operator.
Put down that phone.
Operator. Oh!
Now, pick your phone up. Place the receiver on the hook.
What do you want?
Answer it. It was a mistake. Answer it. Do you hear me?
Never mind, operator. It was a mistake.
With Superman 1,000 miles away, what will Lois Lane do? Can she alone outwit Huffman and Huling? Don't forget to tune in next time for another thrilling episode in this strange Oriental drama.
Tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal, invite you to rocket into the future with Corbett, Space Cadet. Stand by to raise ship. Blast off -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. As roaring rockets blast off to distant planets and far-flung stars, we take you to the age of the conquest of space with Corbett, Space Cadet. Midway in the asteroid belt, a vast scattering of cosmic fragments between the planets Mars and Jupiter, lies Prison Rock, a barren asteroid of solid rock and dead soil. Here, beneath the great plastic bubble which holds an artificially created atmosphere, live the lifers, the most dangerous criminals in the universe. Entering the stone administration building, a prisoner trustee approaches the barred door of the warden's office. A stooped, gray-haired man with faded blue eyes and a kindly face. He peers through the bars and speaks.
It's me, Warden Hogue.
Oh, just a minute, Hogue. Okay, come in.
Thank you, sir. Happy birthday, Warden.
Why, thank you, Hogue. How did you know it was my birthday?
Oh, I've been here a long time, sir, 20 years. You get to know things in that time. I've brought you these.
Roses. Hogue, you're a genius to make roses grow on this asteroid.
Patience and hard work, sir. Sorry there's only 3 of them.
Why, they're beautiful. You know, I can't help wondering sometimes. A man with your intelligence and love of beauty.
How I could be a habitual criminal, sir?
Yes. I can understand it with a man like Bull Carson, for instance. He's a brute, a killer. But you...
I made mistakes, sir. But believe me, I'll never make another.
Unfortunately, you won't get another chance. Men who come to the Rock aren't eligible for parole. And in your case, I'm sorry. No, I mean it. You've been a model prisoner, an excellent trustee, but there's nothing I can do. Well, thank you again, Hogue. I won't forget your thoughtfulness.
You certainly won't, Warden. Don't move.
Hogue, where did you get that heat ray? Put it down.
Don't move or I'll kill you. Sit down. No, not by your desk. In that chair there.
You must be crazy.
No, Warden. I've waited 20 years for this, planned every move while I rotted here. I'm leaving this rock.
You are crazy. There's no possible escape from this asteroid. You know that.
Oh, there's a way, Warden.
Hogue, do you realize there's a patrol rocket on guard outside our atmosphere cell every minute? They'll blast any ship that tries to get through to help you.
No ship's going to get through. It's the patrol rocket we aim to use.
What are you talking about? Hogue, put down that ray gun. The guard will be here any second.
No, they won't.
No, don't.
Okay, Bull.
Got him, eh, Hogue?
Naturally. He's trusted me for years. Wait, I'll open the door for you.
Good boy. Is he dead?
I don't think so. How about the guard?
We took care of everyone, the crumbs. It was easy the way you set it up. Except for the 6 guys with us, the other cons don't know what's going on yet.
Good. If they knew we'd have trouble. They'd all want to go along, and there's only room for the 8 of us who've had experience as rocketeers.
You're sure you can work it? We get the patrol to land here without them suspecting nothing.
Leave it to me. I know the code signal, everything. Tie up the warden. I'm going to the communications room.
Control deck. Come in, Tom.
Controller Guy, what do you have?
Roger Manning creates some excitement, Junior. Aboard Sully.
We're on patrol over Prison Rock, Space Boy, which means we just go round and round
and round and round. I wish Astro was with us. At least I could insult him.
Don't blow your jets. Just 2 days more and we can go back to the academy.
It'll seem like heaven.
Hey, wait, Tom. There's a message coming in. Call Captain Jeffers.
Now, here's the captain now. Message coming in, sir. Very well, Corbett. Patch it down, Manning.
Here it comes, sir. Calling Patrol Rocket, code 16. Come in, please.
That's the Prison Rock code signal. Patrol Rocket Polaris to Prison Rock. Go ahead.
Emergency here, sir. The warden is very ill, and the medical officer says he must be taken to Marsport at once. Our operating facilities aren't adequate.
Can the warden speak to me?
No, sir. It's very urgent. The medical officer says every minute counts.
Very well, we'll come down at once. Have the warden ready for immediate travel. End transmission. All right, cadets. Prepare to put down on Prison Rock.
Well, Hogue, what happened?
The rocket's coming into land, Bull.
Great. How many men on the patrol?
Usually just an officer and 2 men.
3 of them. Let's get the reception committee together. This'll be a cinch. We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment. So stand by.
Attention, all spacemen. Take advantage of this special offer. The greatest offer ever made by Kellogg's Pep. It's your opportunity to get official Space Cadet goggles. That's right, official Space Cadet goggles. The same kind of goggles worn by Tom Corbett out in the farthest reaches of space. Listen to this official description of space goggles issued by Space Academy Supply Headquarters. They're made out of one sweeping curved plastic plate, like one giant bubble that fits right over both eyes. Space goggles provide for a full range of vision and can even be worn over eyeglasses. Space goggles are issued in regulation colors. Now, spacemen, you want to wear your goggles anytime you're racing into the wind, on skates, on a bike, in a car. Get your space goggles now. Here's what to do. Get a box of delicious Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal. Then, you'll not only start the day with a spaceman's breakfast, swell-tasting Kellogg's Pep, but you'll also have a box top to help you get your goggles. Now, here's how. Send 25 cents. 1 Kellogg's Pep box top, your name and address. Repeat, 25 cents. 1 Kellogg's Pep box top, your name and address. Send to this address. Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Don't delay. Get your space goggles today.
Full of dangerous convicts have seized control of Prison Rock and have decoyed the patrol rocket Polaris manned by Captain Jeffers, Tom Corbett, and Roger Manning to the asteroid. Now on Prison Rock, Captain Jeffers has gone to the warden's quarters, leaving Tom and Roger with the Polaris. An unnatural silence seems to brood over the grim space island of solid stone cell blocks.
It's taking Captain Jeffers a long time to get back, Roger.
Well, the warden's sick, Tom. They got to get him ready for the trip to Marsport.
He was supposed to be ready when we landed. Say, doesn't it seem awfully quiet to you?
The guys in those cell blocks are here for life. What do you expect them to do, sing for joy?
They made a fair amount of racket last time I was here. Seems to me there were more guards in the compound that time, too.
Well, what do they need guards for? There's no place for the convicts to go, even if they broke out of their cells.
I suppose you're right, but...
Wait, Tom. Here comes somebody.
Oh, it's that trustee again. The one who met us when we landed.
Hard to believe he's a dangerous criminal.
He is, though, if he's here.
I know, but he looks like such a sweet old grandpa.
Quiet, Roger.
If you 2 gentlemen, please. Captain Jeffers wants you to join him at the warden's quarters.
Both of us?
Yes, sir. At once, he said.
Come on, Tom.
Oh, wait, Roger. It's against regulations to leave the rocket unguarded.
It'll be quite safe, sir.
Maybe, but just the same.
Oh, wait, Junior. Orders are orders, especially from Captain Jeffers.
Well, okay. Be right back.
Hey, what now?
I got something on board the Polaris. Be with you in a second.
It'll be your fault if Jeffers fuses our jets. Say, the air's pretty good here. Better than most places with an atmosphere shell, Mr.
Myron Hogue is the name, sir. Yes, our air plant is quite efficient. That's it over there, beyond the main cell block.
Uh-huh. Gosh, it's quiet here.
Well, sir, when men are resigned to their fate.
Oh, sure.
Hey, Tom, what's keeping you?
Coming, Roger.
Oh, hurry up. Want to get us into real trouble?
Trouble? Oh, that's something we never have here. This way, gentlemen. In here, please.
What the... Tom, look, in the chair.
It's the warden, tied and gagged. What's going on here?
Don't move, sonny boys. Nice work, Holt.
A big guy with a ray.
Say, who are you, and where's Captain Jeffers?
Shut up. We got 'em all now, Holt.
That's it, Bull.
Well, this works out just dandy.
Tom, the trustee's got a ray gun, too.
Guess we walked into a prison break, Roger.
Yeah, prize space suckers. We and the captain both.
I said shut up. We'll take these two below with the others, Holt. Finish them and blast off in their rocket.
Finish us?
Keep your blaster on them. I'll take the warden.
Wait, Bull, listen.
It's just a guy sounding off. Come on.
No, wait. It sounds like... Well, here's Willie. What is it, Willie?
The con's in the blocks. They found out what we're up to. And they're sore. Say we ain't blasting off the rock without them.
I was afraid of that.
Get ready,
Don't
Roger.
try nothing, cadets.
Bull, if they all fight to get in the rocket, we're sunk.
Yeah, where are our guys, Willie, with the guns?
In the compound, trying to hold the others back, but we need help.
Come on, Hope. We'll take care of them. Willie, you watch these space boys. If they try anything, burn them.
Okay, Paul.
We'd better hurry. Come on.
Just this one guy here now,
One
Thomas.
move out of you and I'll singe them fancy britches.
I guess that's that.
We've got to do something, Roger.
Hey, what's that?
Something, Roger, now!
With you, Tom. Now, Willie boy, take this.
Get his gun hand, Roger.
I got it.
Good. This should hold Willie.
That does it, Tom. Now to find Captain Jeffers and stop those convicts.
Wait, first untie the warden.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have you free in a moment, sir. Get his gag off, Roger.
Right.
There we are, warden.
Good work, boys. Come on now, hurry. Let's get on the audio channel and communicate with the Solar Guard.
Wait, sir. Captain Jeffers
We can't spare a second. The most dangerous criminals in the universe are loose. Follow me. Here's the communications room. We'll contact the Solar Guard. Have them here in short order.
Wait, Warden. Roger, look.
Great guns.
The transmitters, everything wrecked.
We're sending no message. The convicts have been sure of that.
Well, what do we do? Hogan Bull will blast off and the others will finish us.
They won't blast off just yet, Roger.
Of course they will, Corbett. That was their scheme, to use the Polaris as a getaway rocket.
I know, sir, but I removed the control head and hid it in a jet tube. It'll take them a while to find it.
Hey, Junior, that was smart.
It'll only delay the inevitable, I'm afraid. Sooner or later, they'll... Wait, I think they're coming back. We can see from this window. It's Bull Carson and his crowd.
I guess they've driven the other convicts back into the cell
And,
block.
brother, they look mad.
Do you think they discovered the control head is missing, Junior?
If they have, we need guns. Warden, where can we find...
No good Corbett at all. First thing Hogan Bull did was to raid the arsenal.
Uh-oh. That's dandy. Then we just wait here for those killers like sitting ducks.
This door will keep them out for a while. And we're too high up for them to scale the wall.
Well, it makes me feel a little better, Warden.
Snap out of it, Roger. This only gives us a breathing spell. Come on. Go on, get to work.
Sure, sprout wings and fly out the window?
No, smart boy, but I've been looking over this super frequency setup. I think maybe we can patch it up enough to get a message out.
Corbett, that'd be great.
If it works. Come on, let's get to work and find out.
Here they come.
Let's get at the equipment.
Open up, Warden. We know you're in there with those space boys.
Take my advice, Carson, and go back to your cells.
Are you kidding? Open up, I say.
Hand me the power coil, Roger.
Here you are.
You can't get off the asteroid, and the Solar Guard will be here soon. Give up and save your lives.
Listen, wise guy. We want the rocket control head. Tell us where it is and we'll leave you be. Don't tell us. We'll blast the door open and heaven help you then.
Uh-oh, here it comes, Tom. A ray blast.
Well, keep working, Roger. Don't stop.
We get the control head, Warden?
No! And if you'll listen to me...
Warden, get away from the door.
Those killers. If you boys can just fix that transmitter before they break in.
We're trying, sir. We're trying.
It's no use, Bull. These low-power rays can't knock over that door.
All right, what's keeping Willie? I sent him to the arsenal for the big stuff, the force projector.
He'll be along.
Here he comes. Willie, get a move on.
Coming, Bull. This thing's heavy.
Now we got power, Hope. Real power. When we get that door down, watch me go to work on those cadets. Before I'm through with them, they'll wish they'd never been born.
They're too quiet out there. I don't like it, boys.
It'll just be good about 10 minutes longer. We'll have this transmitter ready to go. Hand me that frequency tuner, Rog.
Here you are. Won't be long now, Warden. We'll have the solar guard right on the... Crater's a lunatic.
Get back, Roger.
They've brought up the heavy-duty force projector. I was afraid of that.
By Jupiter, Tom, now we are sunk.
I'm afraid so, Roger, unless...
How do you like that, you space mugs? Give it a moment again, Willie.
They'll be through the door in no time.
Wait, Roger, I just thought of something. Warden, can we get to the atmosphere station, shut it down?
Hey, that'd cut off the air supply.
Great idea, but impossible. The only entrance is underground, and the passage to it starts below this building.
Again, Willie.
By the rings of Saturn, we gotta do something.
It's hopeless. In another minute, they'll have that door down.
Warden, wait. Where does the water come from to cool the air station generator?
Why, the canal which runs through the compound. You can see it from here.
That'd provide another entrance, then.
Yes.
Look, Warden, we can get out this window on our rope cable, swing the canal to the station, and shut it down.
By space, it'd work. But we've only got seconds to go. Another blast like that...
Boys, there are chemicals in that canal. Sulfuric and other acids. You'd be burned to death.
Oh, great.
Warden, you must have a couple of spacesuits here. That's regulations in an artificial air zone.
Yes,
well, let's get them. They can stand anything but open, sustained flame. We're going swimming, Roger. Get into a spacesuit fast.
Come on, Roger. Move those arms. Swim. Yeah, but swimming in a spacesuit is like wading through Martian quicksand.
Tough, I know, but the air station's just beyond that bend, so swim.
Here they are, in the canal.
Bull spotted us.
Save your breath. Swim.
Let them have the heat rays.
They're firing.
Yeah, and coming close. See the water boil where the heat ray hit?
Get them. Get them.
Tom, the canal's on fire. The chemicals.
The heat ray must have ignited them. We're going to be burned to a crisp.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment, so stand by.
When Tom Corbett and his crew blast off into space, every man on board makes sure he carries a set of official Space Cadet goggles. Every cadet wears space goggles as protection out in space. Well, now, you can get these very same space goggles. Whether you're working with tools, racing on a bike or skates, or blasting off into outer space, you want to have official space goggles with you every minute. Now, here's Tom Corbett to tell you more about official Space Cadet goggles.
Spaceman, you should send for your space goggles right away, because the sooner you send in, the sooner you'll get them. You know, these aren't ordinary goggles. Space goggles are made of one sweeping curved piece of clear-colored plastic, like a giant bubble that fits right over your eyes. I've been down to Space Academy Supply headquarters, and they've got space goggles all ready to send out as soon as you let them know where to send them. So get going, spaceman. Send for your space goggles today.
And here's what you do. Send 25 cents, 1 Kellogg's Pep Box Top, and your name and address. Repeat, 25 cents, 1 Kellogg's Pep Box Top, your name and address. Mail to this address. Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Spaceman, send for your official Space Cadet goggles now. And start off tomorrow with a bowl full of Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal.
In a desperate attempt to crush a convict rebellion on Prison Rock asteroid, Tom and Roger decide to shut down the atmosphere station, which would end the revolt by depriving the mutineers of air. In spacesuits, they try to swim the canal, which leads to the station. But the convicts fire heat rays into the canal, setting the chemicals in the water on fire. Now Tom and Roger are engulfed in a mighty mass of flame.
Tom, we're done for.
Unless our suits hold out.
Mine's starting to singe.
So's mine. Just get as low in the water as you can.
In a spacesuit, that's like keeping a cork underwater.
Only way, and swim. The water intake for the station isn't far anymore. Swim like blazes and play.
couldn't have stood it another second.
We made it, though. We're in the station.
By the craters of Luna. Let's get out of this sulfuric acid suit.
Better strip these spacesuits.
Won't take long. There goes my helmet. And the suit's practically burned off me already. Where's the control panel?
Over by the wall. You ready?
Just about. Okay, Junior.
Uh-oh. Company.
Willie and another rat.
There they are. Get it!
Dive at their feet, Roger. Don't let them use those waves.
Never a dull moment.
Okay, mister. Try this for size.
Sweet Willie, come to Papa, you space crumb.
How you doing, Roger?
Okay, Tom. Look out, Willie. I'm lowering the boom. There goes Willie.
And here goes his playmate.
Well, that's over, Tom.
Not yet. Get the gang outside. Where do you turn the atmosphere off?
Here. No, here.
Yeah, that does it. Quick, put on a portable respirator.
It's like I said before, Tom. Never a dull moment on this rock.
Look, Roger, through the vent here. The convicts are starting to fold up. The revolt is over.
Yeah, beautiful sight. But, Tom, they'll die without air. The warden and Captain Shepard.
They're just blacking out now because the air's getting thin. They won't die. Not until we can disarm the convicts and turn the atmosphere back on. Come on, Roger. We've still got work to do.
Cadets Corbett and Manning, you did a splendid job, and congratulations. And thanks.
That goes for me, too, boys.
Well, thank you, sir.
Now, at ease. And make yourselves comfortable. We're going to be here a while yet.
Stay here?
On the rock? Why, Captain?
We can't get off. While you boys were at the atmosphere station, Bull, Carson, and Hogue got away in the Polaris.
They got away?
No.
The Solar Guard has been alerted, and Carson and Hogue should be intercepted soon. I hope.
I hope is right. See, Junior, it's like I told you.
Yes, Roger. Never a dull moment.
Don't miss the next action-packed adventure of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, on Thursday, when Tom and Roger, in peril of their lives, tangle again with the two most dangerous criminals in the universe in Part 2 of Revolt at Prison Rock. Tune in, same time, same station for the next thrilling interplanetary adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. Brought to you by Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal. Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, starring Frankie Thomas, can also be seen on television and appears in the comic sections of many of America's leading newspapers. Look for it daily and in weekend editions. Featured in the cast were Jan Merlin, William Keane, James Mux, and Joseph Boland. Today's program was written by Ben Peter Freeman and directed by Drex Hines. Jackson Beck speaking.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Raisins and bran flakes, too. They're out of this world. They're out of one package. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Kellogg's raisins are honeycomb coated to keep them tender. The bran flakes crisper. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Raisins and bran flakes, too. They're out of this world. They're out of one package. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's.
Tired of the everyday routine? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all?
We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
Tonight, we escape to Yucatan with a man and woman who dare defy the curse of the ancient priests of Maya to find a hidden jungle shrine and millions in jewels and gold. As Les Crutchfield and Paul Pierce tell it in The Golden Snake.
It was mid-morning of the fourth day south from New Orleans when the rusty little freighter Caribe Lady dropped a hook a mile off the port of Progreso and the broad-beam tender warped alongside. The port itself and the jungle peninsula of Yucatan beyond lay in steamy lethargy beneath an early blazing tropic sun. I was in a hurry. I wanted customs clearance as quickly as possible for myself and the helicopter I brought with me. Then I wanted a few bottles of that subtly bitter beer that they brew in Monterey. My mysterious employer, Dr. Conrad, was waiting at the Itza Hotel in Merida, 24 miles inland. But in heat like this, he could wait a few hours longer.
I beg your pardon.
Well.
I presume you're Stephen Lane.
Yeah, good presumption. You're right.
Well, I'm Gail Barry.
Hello, Gail.
I'm Dr. Conrad's secretary.
Oh. I begin to see how the jungle might have certain compensations.
Oh, you better slow down, Mr. Lane. You're going pretty fast, even for a pilot.
Helicopter pilot. Not so much on speed, but I do a lot of hovering, especially around green-eyed girls and cold bottles of beer. Would the former like to join me over the ladder?
I hope you can hang on to that sense of humor. You'll need it before this is over.
Before what's over?
A little late for curiosity, isn't it? You've already taken the job.
Yeah, sure. I was flat broke. When that $1,500 check of Conrad's went through the Miami bank like greased lightning, I pulled out my curiosity and cut its throat.
But now it's beginning to revive. Is that it?
I'm sorry, baby. I didn't know this was a state secret.
It isn't. You were hired to fly Dr. Conrad from Merida to a destination within a 200-mile radius and return for a fee of $5,000. What's secret about it?
Purpose of this trip, for one thing.
To visit ancient Mayan ruins buried in the jungle and only accessible by helicopter. Dr. Conrad is an archaeologist.
Must be a fairly profitable racket.
No, there's no profit in it at all.
Oh?
But, Steve, you said you were broke. Would a lot of money interest you? A lot more than $5,000?
How much more?
100 times that much.
Yeah? Yeah, I'd be interested. So?
Check through customs. And let's have that bottle of beer.
We had the beer, all right. But we didn't have any more conversation about money. Gail was beautiful, vivacious, and talkative, but on that subject, she clammed up tight. But at certain times and with certain people, money isn't everything. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon before we took off in the helicopter and flew south to Merida and Dr. Conrad.
You can look down from this balcony, Mr. Lane, and there lies the town of Merida, all silver in the moonlight. And you think it is nothing unusual, perhaps, but the town is Spanish, and beyond it is the jungle. And the jungle is still pure Mayan.
Unconquered, old, and wise. Yeah, I've heard that theory before, Dr. Conrad.
And you disagree with it, perhaps?
I don't know. I've been watching some of the natives around the hotel here this evening, and there is something about their expression or their eyes. I don't know.
Well, I've spent my life studying them, and I do know, Mr. Lane. The Mayans are one of the oldest and strangest races on the face of the earth. The jungle out there swallowed up their pyramids and their temples long ago, and the Spanish conquerors destroyed their records and writings. But they still speak the language, and they still remember. I think it's something in their eyes, as you noticed.
About the trip that we're going on, is it to one of these ruined temples or pyramids?
Yes.
Where?
South and east, more or less, within 200 miles of here. We'll have to follow landmarks.
You've been there before, then?
Yes. There are no trails and no water. Snakes, army ants, fever. Average progress is 2 miles a day.
And I assume that the purpose of the trip is archaeological exploration?
Of course, Mr. Lane. I would have no...
Dr. Conrad, I checked the invoices for the equipment. They're all correct. I left them in your room.
Fine. Thank you, Miss Barry. I'll sign them later.
All right, Dr. Conrad. I'll be in my room if you want me for anything. Good night, Mr. Lane.
Oh, good night, Miss Barry. Look, Dr. Conrad, I think it's about time you told me the real purpose of this trip. Huh?
But I did tell you. What makes you think that there
Look, $5,000 is too much money for a 3-day flying trip to look over some ruins. So?
Mr. Lane, can you keep your mouth shut?
That depends.
There'll be more in it than $5,000 if it goes all right.
Illegal, I suppose?
No, but dangerous. More dangerous than you can ever imagine.
What kind of danger?
From the Mayans. This involves a violation of the most sacred shrine in their history. The theft of their most sacred object. One they won't even admit exists.
Oh, treasure hunt, huh?
Not a hunt, Mr. Lane. I've seen the object. I know where it is.
Is, Miss Barry in on this?
She's merely the secretary of a scientific expedition. You and I are the only ones who know different.
What about the men who were with you before?
They were interested only in the ruins. They never saw the treasure.
Yeah, but they do know the location of the place.
No, Mr. Lane. Not anymore.
Well, why not?
Because all 4 of them are dead.
Yes. I can also tell you why Dr. Conrad didn't want to talk about it, Steve. It's because of that obsession of his. That fear of the Mayans and their vengeance.
Yeah, but you feel it yourself. You told me earlier.
No. Not fear. Something else. Something deeper. Oh, Steve, please, get out of my room now. If Dr. Conrad found you in here, it would ruin everything.
Honey, look, if I'm going to play games, I've got to know the odds.
But I've already told you, Dr. Conrad had nothing to do with their death.
I know. 4 fatal accidents within a year. What kind of accidents?
Different kinds. The first one happened 6 months after the joint expedition. Dr. Bentley and the original pilot took off from Merida and crashed in the jungle 10 miles from town. They were both killed. The native guide got out with a broken leg.
I see.
2 months later, Dr. Pelton started overland through the jungle. A week out of Merida, he was bitten by a snake and died at one of the native Chicle camps.
And the other man?
His name was Dr. Blom. He tried to come north from Guatemala by canoe and was drowned when it capsized.
Oh, by himself, was he?
No. His native guide recovered the body.
Native guide. In every case, there was a Mayan native in at the death, you might say.
Yes. That's what worries Dr. Conrad.
Look, were all of these men trying to get back to that same temple?
I think so.
Because of the treasure?
Probably. They knew they'd found the long-lost temple of Kukulkan, and they knew the legend.
All right. Where do you fit in?
What's the difference, Steve? You don't mind, do you?
Mine? I like it. I also like to know the score.
I'll do better by you than Conrad would. Much better.
All right, baby. I'll buy that. Only there's one thing. Conrad hasn't told this to anybody before. How did you find out?
From my father, Steve. Before he was drowned in the river in Guatemala. My real name, it's Blom.
Yeah, I'd figured. Even though she'd never been to Yucatan before, she'd learned enough Mayan history and legend from her father to worm her way into Conrad's employ. The treasure, whatever it was, belonged to her as much as to Conrad. And given halfway even odds, I'd rather play Gale's game any day in the week and twice on Sundays. I lay on the hammock in my room for an hour, I guess. The lamp out, the moonlight splotching silver patterns through the bamboo slats of the blinds. I smoke one cigarette after another while I try to fit all the pieces into place. I was tired, but I'd had several drinks of Johnny Walker that I'd brought along, and I wasn't asleep, that's for sure. So I don't know why I didn't hear the door open.
Please do not be alarmed, Senor Lane.
What?
Lie still, make no outcry, and listen. You will not be harmed.
For some odd reason, I couldn't move. I couldn't cry out. It took great effort just to turn my head and look at him.
It is our desire to warn you because you are not aware of the thing you dare to do. Dr. Conrad knows, and he deserves no warning.
In the scattered moonlight, I could see very little of his face except the eyes. The eyes of a Mayan. They seem very wise and 1,000 years old, like the eyes of newborn babies.
I say to you once, and only once, go not to the temple of Kukulkan.
There seemed to be a strange music playing far off.
The plumed serpent of gold must lie hidden for 5,000 years, and the time is not yet. To alter the time is to die.
For just an instant, the moonlight shifted, and I saw the golden band around his forehead, raised in the front and fashioned into the feathered head of a snake.
You have been warned, Senor Lane. I go.
The closing of the door seemed to break the spell, and I lunged for the pistol on the table beside my bed. Only it wasn't a bed, it was a hammer. Oh, confound!
Senor Lane! Oh. Senor Lane, is anything wrong?
Oh!
Senor Lane!
Come on in!
I was passing along the hall and heard the noise.
Who are you, anyway?
Rodolfo Moreno. I am the night clerk.
Look, did you see the man who came out of my door just before the noise?
What, senor? No one came out.
What?
Well, I was only a few feet away. The hall is well lighted.
But there was someone in here. I saw him. I heard him talking. He was a Mayan.
Senor Lane, sometimes one from the north requires a day or two for becoming accustomed to the tropics. And I must tell you, the beer in Mexico is a little more strong than you may think.
No, wait a minute.
So you sleep now, we talk about it mañana, eh? Buenas noches, senor. Buenas noches.
There wasn't much point in doing anything but follow the night clerk's advice. I couldn't very well go to Conrad and tell him a mysterious Mayan had come to my room to warn me. When the clerk had sworn he'd seen no one. I didn't see how Gail could help much. I didn't want to worry her without some definite reason. So, after a long time, I grew drowsy and fell asleep.
Senor Lane, wake up. It is I, Moreno. Wake up, senor.
All right. Wait a minute. What is it, Moreno? What's wrong?
Your friend, senor. Dr. Conrad. His heart, I think.
What? What do you mean?
Well, I hear him cry out. I go for help, but it was too late, senor. He is dead.
In just a moment, we will return you to the second act of Escape. But first, Molly Goldberg's warm-hearted approach to life has gotten her into mix-ups over and over. But this Saturday night, Molly really shoots the works. Molly and Jake have planned a motor trip to Florida. But when the people who've been invited to ride along get together, Grand Central Station couldn't hold them all. What happens to the trip? Be listening this Saturday night when the Goldbergs bring their warm, rich humor to most of these same CBS stations. And now, for the second act of Escape.
I went with the night clerk to Dr. Conrad's room. Met the local physician who had been called to the hotel. Told him to go ahead with whatever arrangements were necessary. There seemed nothing else to do. Dr. Conrad had died in his bed, apparently unmolested. His room was undisturbed, and Moreno, who from his desk had a clear view of the length of the hall, said that no one had entered or left. Apparent cause of death, heart failure. But in a room a half hour later, Gail disagreed with such a simple verdict.
There was nothing wrong with his heart, Steve. He died of fright. Sheer fright. I know he did.
All right, honey, all right. But what caused the fright?
The Mayans. Maybe the same one you said came to your room.
No, I'm not sure whether anyone did or not. Maybe the night clerk was right. Maybe I imagined it.
He is a native, you know.
Another Mayan, huh? Well, I could have been dreaming, or drunk. I don't know.
It won't work, Steve. How could you have dreamed up the gold band he wore on his head? The same band worn by the high priest of Kukulkan 1,000 years ago.
I don't know. That's what gets me.
Had you even heard of the plumed serpent of gold before?
No.
Or the 5,000 years of hiding?
No, of course not.
They're all a part of Mayan legend, Steve. You had to learn them somewhere.
Gail, you said Conrad had an obsession. What about you?
I don't know. Before I came to Yucatan, I had only one idea. To get my share of that treasure one way or another. Mayan legends were nothing more than that. But down here, it's different. Things touch you somehow. Inside.
You mean you're scared, isn't that it?
Not exactly. It's something deeper. I don't know.
And against that something deeper, there are how many dollars?
Around $2 million, I think, from things Dr. Conrad let slip.
How did he plan to dispose of the thing?
There's a buyer in Mexico City. No questions asked. Conrad wanted his name kept out of it.
Made a vengeance again, huh?
Yes.
Look, would this buyer deal with us?
Of course. Why should he care who brings it?
Do you know the landmarks of the pyramid? This temple of Kukulkan?
Yes, but... Steve, I am not sure, but...
Look, honey, look. I've got a helicopter out there at the edge of town. Within 200 miles is a fortune for the taking. Baby, I've been broke too much of my life to back down from a few pipe dreams and a heart attack. How about it, baby, huh?
Oh, it's no fun to be broke.
Yeah, but it might be a lot of fun if we weren't.
You're awfully hard to resist.
Oh, I hope so, baby. Because I've got some other ideas, too, you know. What do you say?
Oh, if I said no, I'd be a fool, I suppose.
Well, then don't say it. We'll both be over the jitters by morning. And one thing, we won't have to worry about accidents. Our expedition won't have any Mayans along.
Oh, Steve, I told you Dr. Blum was my father. He met my mother in Mexico City. She died right after I was born. But she came originally from Yucatan. And she was a Mayan.
Can you tell now, Gail? Are you sure this is it? We won't land if you're not.
I think so. There's the old stone roadbed in the jungle to the south. The pyramid runs southeast-northwest. The temple ruins are at the north. The jungle has grown up over the west slope. All the landmarks check, Steve. This is it.
All right, honey, hang on. We're going down. The Mayans didn't know it, but when they built these pyramids flat top, they were getting ready for the helicopters. Put down.
It's terribly quiet, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, especially after hearing that egg beater for the last 3 hours. Well, may as well have a look. Come on, jump, baby. I'll give you a hand.
Thanks.
Well, they've certainly let the old place run down.
It's lain here like this for more than 1,000 years, Steve. Full moons and dark moons, rains, lightning, sun and wind. Nothing moving. Only the jungle, growing and growing and creeping up over it.
Hey, now, baby, relax.
We shouldn't have come here at all. We are only interlopers, strangers, not wanted.
Well, maybe they like us better when we're rich, huh?
There's no use joking about it, Steve. I think you feel it, too. We are in some terrible danger here, some kind we've never known before. It's like we're being watched. Only there are no watchers.
Well, not unless you count that parrot there in the lianas.
A parrot. A feathered bird. A feathered snake.
Now, look, Gail, look, we've talked this all out. We're here now. We're going to go through with it. I admit that I feel just as... Well, this morbid talk of yours isn't helping anything.
I'm sorry, Steve. I feel so strange. Oh, it's just nerves. Forget it.
Okay, baby. It's a deal. Come on. Let's go find that cave. Gail had learned from Dr. Conrad that the treasure lay in a chamber inside the pyramid, reached by a tunnel which opened somewhere along the west face. And the length of rope he'd specified in the equipment, we knew about how far down the west face. So we started working our way along at that level. Gail carried the rope, flashlights, and a hacksaw, while I swung a machete against the lush growth of jungle that made every yard of progress a measure of hard work and sweat. It was late afternoon before I slashed through a green thicket of banana palms and saw it before me. Black and forbidding. Framed in hieroglyphic stone was the squat, square mouth of the tunnel. Its floor was paved with bricks velveted in green moss, undertrodden for centuries. A cool draft floated out against the jungle heat, inviting and repelling. Gal and I looked at one another for a long moment, saying nothing. And then, flashlights in hand, we walked into the tunnel. Careful, honey, careful. The ceiling's low in places.
I'm watching, Steve. There may be snakes.
Our boots ought to protect us. Seems to be widening out a little.
I think maybe... Yes. There's a room right ahead, Steve.
Good. Wonder if there's anybody home.
Steve, don't joke, please.
No, I'm sorry, honey. Here we are.
Oh, it's a big room.
Yeah. I'll say it is, and I wonder where it's...
Steve! Swing your light over there. Look.
On a raised stone dais in the center of the cave, gleaming and glittering in the blaze of our lights, was a great figure wrought in plates of pure gold. A massive golden snake studded and jeweled with feathers of cut emerald.
Steve, it's Kukulkan, the plumed serpent of gold.
$2 million, baby. $3 million is closer, maybe $4 million. Why, the gold alone and those emeralds.
Let's go now. Now, Steve, before it's too late.
It must weigh a ton. Now I see why Conrad included hacksaws in the equipment. Here, honey, you owe my life.
What are you going to do?
Old money bags has to be cut up before we can pack them out. May as well see how much of a job it'll be.
Steve! No!
Yeah, what's the matter?
There's something here. Something old and wise and powerful. It's watching us. I can feel it.
Oh, now wait, baby. Don't...
Anyway, it's really too late to do anything today. We've seen it now, Steve. Let's leave it just the way it is. Just until tomorrow. It's almost dark now. Please. Please, Steve.
All right, Gal, all right. Come on, let's get out of here. I pitched our camp on the level top of the pyramid, not far from the helicopter. Spread our sleeping bags and built a fire in a pile of stones. It was dark by the time we'd eaten, and a round full moon flooded the ruins and the miles of empty jungle with an eerie light. I lay back and I watched Gail sitting across the fire from me, staring into the strange night, lost in her own thoughts. An odd thing had happened while I was gathering rocks for the fireplace. I lifted a large flat stone and found under it a golden band like the one worn by the Mayan who'd come to my room. Gail had put it on her head without a word, and it fit perfectly. She still wore it, and now and then the polished gold caught flashes of light from the fire and from the moon. It was very late when I drifted off to sleep. It must have been a sound that woke me, but I think it was the odor that seeped into my sleep. That was it, the odor. Pungent, aromatic, and for a moment, unidentifiable. And then I came suddenly awake, saw by the fire's embers that Gail's sleeping bag was empty. I sprang to my feet. At the moment, I recognized the odor of raw gasoline. Saw the dark surface of the helicopter glistening and wet in the moonlight, and saw Gail walking toward it with a flaming stalk of dried thatch in her hand. Gail, what are you doing? No, stop it! She paid no attention, stood like a sleepwalker watching the burning plane she'd set afire, the golden band gleaming on her forehead. Then I was running, stumbling headlong toward her. Gail, come back, Gail! She didn't hear me. She moved slowly away, looking towards something that I couldn't see beyond the fire. Nor did I see the vine that caught my foot and sent me crashing onto the sharp rock. I lay there on the ground, unable to move, half blinded by concussion. By the blood that ran into my eyes, I tried to call out again and could make no sound. I could see Gail moving away past the burning plane, swaying as she walked, trance-like and alien. I seemed to hear again the weird music of Merida far off somewhere in the night. And then, in truth or in delirium, in the shadows, past the fire, I saw them waiting for Gail. They were clothed in white, and their eyes were Mayan, wise and old and powerful. And on each forehead gleamed a golden band, the high priest of Kukulkan.
Senor, you feel better now, no?
Better? I don't know. Who are you?
Only a poor farmer, senor.
Farmer? Where am I?
In my casa, senor. You have been very ill from a bad wound to the head.
But how did I get here?
3 days ago, you come from the jungle, fell at my door. I take care of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Sometimes you fight with me, say crazy words. But I know it is only the head is broken.
I was running. I fell against a rock. I just can't remember much after that.
No matter, senor. Tomorrow I take you to Merida.
To Merida? But how can you?
But so simple. In my cart with the burro. It is only 7 miles.
7 miles? But I was 200 miles from here.
Okay, sorry, senor. 3 days ago you come out from the jungle.
Tell me something. Are you a Mexican?
Well, senor, I am a citizen of Mexico, but by birth, I am Mayan.
I have flown 5 times since into Yucatan, into the dark lands and the uncharted jungles. I've searched through tumbled ruins, moss-grown, rotted. I built fires on ancient pyramids at night and cried aloud to the silent moon. But never again found the temple of Kukulkan, nor the plumed serpent of gold, or a beautiful girl named Gail. And I know I never will.
Escape is produced and directed by William N. Robson. Tonight we have presented The Golden Snake, adapted for radio by Les Crutchfield from an original story by Paul Pierce. Featured in the cast were Anthony Barrett as Steve Lane, Jeanette Nolan as Gail Barry, and John Hoyt as Dr. Conrad. Also heard were Rick Vallon, Harry Bartell, and Paul Freese. Special music arranged and played by Ivan Ditmars. Next week...
You are stranded on the Yangtze River, 1,500 miles from Shanghai, and in the midst of all the displaced humanity of China, somehow you have been marked for destruction from which there is no escape.
Next week, we escape with an exciting tale of fear, intrigue, and danger on one of the most colorful rivers of the world, as John and Gwen Bagney tell it in The Shanghai Document. CBS famous anti-crime series Gangbusters presents a real-life police story, The Case of the Wise Young Owl, this Saturday night. Remember to be tuned in to CBS, where Arthur Godfrey's digest of wit and humor is heard every Saturday night, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Wheat Checks, Rice Checks, and Good Hot Ralston present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed adventure, Buzz and Happy are in their spacesuits, investigating a gigantic 6-wheeled atomic digging machine on the planet Mercury. As they walk across the deeply cracked ground in 300-degree heat, the huge machine starts moving toward them with increasing speed.
They're trying to run us down with the machine, Commander. Get to the ship, Happy. It's hard to run in these bulky suits. Maybe we can dodge the driller.
Don't try it. The driller's big, but it can turn like a cat.
It's gaining on us.
Don't look back. Run.
Hey! Quick, Hap, on your feet.
My foot's caught the crevice.
Give me your hand.
No, you sir, I can't get loose. I'm caught. Commander, get away, please, while you can. The driller's almost on top of us.
We'll be back in just a moment with today's Space Patrol story, The City of the Sun. Hey, gang, listen to this poor old rocket ship here at the Lunar Fleet Base. You know what the trouble is? That rocket's trying to run on ordinary fuel. Now, here's that same rocket ship loaded with super fuel. Now, that's what I call a real blast-off. And boys and girls, to get a bright and snappy start, you need super fuel, too, especially in the morning. So start your day with a breakfast that supercharges you. A nourishing breakfast with a checkerboard super cereal, like Rice Chex. Triple crisp Rice Chex. Triple crisp because it's toasted 3 times. And oh boy, is Rice Chex delicious. Makes breakfast sparkle, that's how good it is. Rice Chex. Golden shredded rice biscuits in that modern bite-sized design for easy eating. So remember, gang, to start off bright and snappy in the morning, eat a nourishing breakfast with a checkerboard super cereal and get supercharged. Today, try your spoon out on Rice Chex. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy are on the planet Mercury, organizing Space Patrol units into a search for Professor Mallison, whose spaceship vanished on the dark side of the planet. But now, a second emergency on another part of Mercury sends Buzz and Happy racing to the hot side of the tiny planet, to Solaria, the city of the sun.
Who's behind the sabotage, sir?
I don't know, Happy. That's what we've got to find out. But I've got a pretty good idea what the motive is.
What's that, sir?
Solaria has suddenly become very important because of the mineral deposits that have been found about 60 miles south of the city.
South? That means it's hotter than the Solaria area. Well, how do they work it?
With robot-controlled mining equipment operated from Solaria. And with spacesuits, a few technicians can work in 2-hour shifts on the mining site itself.
Oh, and whoever sabotaged the power plant doesn't want those mining operations to continue.
Probably cuts into their own source of revenue.
I suppose this is more important, but I sure would have liked to locate Professor Mallison first.
We've got the search units well organized, Happy. They'll comb the entire dark side of Mercury with infrared viewscope scanners.
Do you think the professor could still be alive, sir?
He's been missing over 4 days. That would be a long time to hold out in sub-zero temperature on the dark side of the planet.
Well, how about the spaceophone signal picked up yesterday, though? That was from Mallison, wasn't it?
It was his code, all right. But it was an automatic signal. It could have been sent from one of the small rockets Mallison had aboard his ship. When released, it automatically sends back information on cosmic radiation, temperature, and Mercury's own magnetic field.
Oh, that's what Mallison was studying?
Yes. Even if we locate the rocket, it wouldn't mean it's anywhere near Mallison's ship. A commercial spaceship picked the signal up briefly, just for a few seconds. All they got was Mallison's identification code and the temperature. 122 degrees below zero.
Yeah, which could mean that Mallison released the rocket several days ago and it landed on the dark side of the planet.
Right.
Commander, what's that? It looks like steam shooting out of the ground down there. It's like a geyser.
Geyser on the hot side of Mercury? Happy, check our exact position. I don't like the looks of this.
Yes, sir.
I'll call Solaria Space Control. Corey and Terra 5 to Space Control Solaria. Corey and Terra 5 to Space Control Solaria.
Space Control Solaria to Commander Corey, Lieutenant Orris here.
Lieutenant, I'm flying low northeast of Solaria. My cadet and I have sighted something that looks like steam shooting out of the ground.
Steam, Commander?
Yes, I'll give you our position. Check it against the location of water conduits leading to the city.
Yes, sir.
Happy, got the data?
Yes, sir. We're 10 degrees, 27 minutes, 48 seconds south by 112 degrees, 51 minutes, 08 seconds east.
Got that, Lieutenant?
Yes, sir. I'll check it against the chart.
Commander, do you suppose it is a broken conduit?
I don't know what else it could be, Happy. Possibly a quake broke the pipe.
Commander, it looks like a broken conduit, all right. Solaria's main water supply line runs right through that point from melting and pumping station number 3 on the cold side of Mercury.
Better check with Solaria Water Control. See if they've noticed a drop in pressure.
Yes, sir. Thanks for telling us. If that's a bad break, we'll be in a tough spot here.
Is there a seismograph in Solaria?
I believe there is, sir.
I suggest you check the city engineering office. Have them contact other cities on the planet and see if there's been a quake in this area.
Yes, Commander.
We'll circle this vicinity to see if any further trouble develops. Report back when you get the information. Corey out.
Well, from the looks of that ground down there, sir, they must have a lot of quakes in this region.
You mean those deep cracks? Well, those were formed millions of years ago, Happy, when Mercury first began to dry out under the terrific heat.
Yeah, but with one side of the planet covered with ice and the other side with blistering heat, well, wouldn't there be a lot of quakes?
Well, as far as I know, there hasn't been a serious one reported in recent years. We'll keep circling till we hear from Solaria.
Can't we take it easy, Burdock? This is pretty rough ground.
Well, these atomic drillers weren't made for comfort, Grove. And I want to get plenty of distance between us and that broken water conduit.
We're going 70 with this thing. If we hit one of those cracks at the speed, we'll tip over.
Just quit worrying. We're riding on 6 wheels. And each of them are 20 feet in diameter. And every wheel has its own power drive. I think we're in more danger of being spotted by a space patrol ship than we are of upsetting this monster.
What do we do with the driller when we get to our spaceship?
We just leave it. It's pretty well camouflaged to blend in with this cracked yellow ground here. We can find it again if we need it.
You aren't planning to drill any more holes in the Solaria water supply, are you?
Not right away. But this job will cause plenty of trouble.
You think they'll be able to repair?
Probably. But with things like this happening, trouble with power and water, the rival companies are going to think twice about using Solaria as a base of operations.
Hey, Burdock, watch it! He nearly tipped us over.
Oh, just relax, Joe. We're almost to the ship.
Well, sir, it looks like the conduit broke in just that one place.
That's lucky, but even at that, it'll take several hours to get many equipment out here to repair it.
Space Control Solaria calling Commander Corey aboard Terra 5.
Corey here. Go ahead, Lieutenant.
A maintenance crew is getting ready to leave Solaria now, Commander. They know the location.
Oh, good. We'll head for Solaria. What about the seismograph reports?
No quakes have been detected anywhere on Mercury, sir. The chief engineer doesn't understand how that conduit could have broken.
How's your water supply?
Pressure has dropped to less than a quarter of normal, sir. We're already on a strict water rationing. Nearly all industries have been ordered to shut down for 24 hours.
Will it take that long to repair the damage?
At least. Commander, Colonel Henderson thought you might be interested in a report on Professor Mallison.
Well, yes, I am. Have they found him?
No, sir. But another automatic signal was picked up by a cargo ship, apparently from a grounded instrument rocket. It isn't much help.
What do you mean?
It's sending inaccurate information. The cargo ship pilot got a rough fix before the signal stopped. It's on the hot side of Mercury, but the temperature data was 122 degrees below zero.
Same as the other report. The sending mechanism must have been damaged when the rocket landed.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Lieutenant. I'll contact you when we reach Solaria. Corey out. All right, Happy. Get on vector for Solaria.
Yes, sir.
Hey, wait a minute. Look down there on the ground.
What is it, Commander?
See those gouges? A sort of crisscross pattern.
Yeah, 2 rows of them.
They're tracks.
What would make tracks that far apart?
Some heavy earth-moving machinery, probably.
Oh, from when the conduit was laid.
I don't think so. Focus the viewscope toward the steam spout. Yeah, see? The tracks end right near the place where the break is.
Say, that's right.
Follow those tracks in the other direction, Happy.
Hey, they lead away from Solaria.
That makes them interesting. Any surface equipment out here would be more likely to come from Solaria than anywhere else. We're going to find out where those tracks lead.
Just a few minutes more, Grove. Our ship's on the other side of the jagged butte.
Oh, she'll be glad to get out of this driller.
You're mighty peculiar, aren't you? You don't like spaceships either.
Who says I don't?
Well, didn't you get space sick the other day?
Well,
or was it because I shut down that lab ship?
You shouldn't have done that, Burdock. He wasn't bothering us. It was on some scientific mission.
Well, it's just too bad. He came snooping around just as we blasted off from our hideout.
We didn't have a chance.
Don't be so screaming. By acting quickly, we probably kept the space patrol from spotting us near the power relay station. And what's the matter?
The viewscope. It's a ship.
Yeah. It's flying low, right toward us.
Think they see us?
I don't know.
Hey, why'd you stop the driller?
Because if we're moving, they might spot us. But with the sides and top of the driller camouflage, they might not notice.
Well, they went right over.
It's a space patrol ship. They must have spotted the break in the water line.
Yeah, but why were they going so slow?
How do I know? We'll just sit tight and see what they're up to.
Happy, look down there. The tracks stop.
It's hard to tell. The ground must be packed almost as hard as concrete in some places.
I'll circle back. Use the viewscope scanner.
Yes, sir. Uh-oh. Hey, there is something down there. A hump of something. A small hill, maybe.
Now look closer. Did you ever see a hill on wheels?
Yeah, I can see it now. It's a big piece of machinery, and it's camouflaged.
Happy, get our spacesuits out of the locker. I'm setting the ship down.
Yes, sir.
Check the refrigeration units in the suits carefully. We're going to be walking around in oven temperature down there.
They must have seen us. Why would they land their ship clear out here?
Just take it easy, Grove. We're safe in the driller. Nobody could get in unless we open the door.
Somebody's getting out of the ship. 2 men.
Hey, that's Stera 5. Come into Corey's ship.
If we don't open up, Corey will go back to his ship and report us. They'll send a crew out here with cutting torches.
If Corey gets back to the ship.
How can we stop him?
We'll stop him all right. You just wait and see.
Wow, now that we're on the ground, that machine looks enormous.
It's an atomic driller, Happy. The camouflage covers the drill part, but it's built to cover the toughest kind of terrain and drill through solid rock.
Yeah, then that's what happened to the water conduit. Drilling into the main would be simple for that machine.
It looks that way. Have your gun ready, Happy. Whoever's in there probably won't be too eager to answer questions.
Hey, Commander, it's moving.
They're making a getaway. Get back to the ship, Happy.
Yes, sir. Commander, it's coming toward us.
Run, Happy. They're trying to run us down.
It's hard to run in these bulky spacesuits. Maybe we can dodge the driller.
Don't try it unless you have to. That driller's big, but it can turn like a cat.
The ground's so full of cracks and ditches. Commander, it's gaining on us.
Don't look back. Run.
Hey!
Half on your feet.
Quick. My foot's caught in the crevice.
Give me a hand.
Run for it, Commander. They can't get both of us. You've got to get away.
No, give me your hand, Hap.
No, you, sir. I'm caught. Commander, look out. The driller's right on top of us. You've got to leave me.
We'll be back with Space Patrol in just a moment.
Space Patroller Dick Tufeld, gang. I've got a secret for you. Wait till I close the door. Okay? Now, here's a secret Buzz Corey wants you to know about. The secret of how Space Patrollers get a rip-roaring start in the morning. Now, here's what they do. They eat a breakfast that supercharges them. A good breakfast with one of the 3 checkerboard super cereals. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex, and Instant Ralston. Chex. They're the super cereals with that modern bite-sized design. The cereals with a swell new taste you'll like right off the reel. And to warm up your motor, there's Instant Ralston, the hot super cereal. Has a heart-of-the-wheat flavor that you'll really warm up to. So now you know how Space Patrollers get that rip-roaring morning start. Get a flying start yourself every morning, gang. Sit down to a nourishing breakfast with a checkerboard super cereal and get supercharged. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex, good hot Ralston, the super cereals. Flying low above the hot side of the planet Mercury, Buzz and Happy have sighted a gigantic atomic drilling machine. The driller is driven by Burdick and Grout, who have bored a hole in the water conduit leading to Solaria, a city in the sun-baked Mercury desert. Buzz and Happy don spacesuits to investigate a cleverly camouflaged drilling machine. Suddenly, the driller started up, rolling across the cracked and fissured earth on its 6 giant wheels. Happy caught his foot in a large crack in the ground. And now, as Buzz tries to pull Happy free, the enormous driller roars down upon them.
It's no use, sir. It's still right after us. It's going to crush us.
Fall flat. Dive into that crevice quickly.
Yes.
Happy, are you all right?
I guess so, sir. Half buried in the dirt.
Don't move yet. Stay down in the crevice until the driller's out of sight. We don't want them coming back to finish the job.
I sure thought we were goners when that big thing thundered over us.
We're lucky to find that crevice deep enough.
They're still going, I guess.
Yeah. Fortunately, they didn't stop to wreck our ship. That means they're sure they crushed us under the wheels.
The driller's completely out of sight now, sir.
All right, into the ship, Happy. We won't take time to get out of these suits till after we blast off and start our search for that drilling machine.
Well, here we are.
Here's your spacesuit, Burdock. Get into it and let's get to the ship.
I see you're all ready.
Yeah, all but the face piece.
You know, sometimes I get the impression you don't enjoy riding in a driller.
Let the party stop. Let's get out of here. How do we know Corey didn't send a space phone message before he got out of his ship?
You're right, Grove. But before we leave, I'm going to set a magnesium bomb and leave it in here.
What for?
I'll make sure that this drill is useless to anybody else. And it'll leave this camp in such a mess that the Space Patrol can't find any fingerprints.
All right. All right, but let's get at it.
There's something up ahead, sir. Looks like smoke.
You're right, Happy. It's the drilling machine that's on fire.
It's not moving. Hey, do you suppose whoever was in it got out?
Well, let's hope so. Wait a minute. By the color of the smoke, that must be magnesium. It must have been deliberately started to wreck the control mechanism.
But where's the driver?
Take a look at that scorched area on the ground, a few yards from the driller.
A blast-off scar.
Uh-huh. Our driller operator had a spaceship hidden here. Turn on the viewscope, Happy. Maybe you can pick up a trace of him. And I'll contact Space Control Solaria. Commander Corey aboard Terra 5 calling Space Control Solaria. Commander Corey calling Space Control Solaria.
This is Space Control Solaria, Commander. Lieutenant Orr speaking.
Lieutenant, relay this bulletin to all Mercury Space Patrol units.
Yes, sir.
A spaceship of unknown type just blasted off from the vicinity of the broken water conduit. Interrogate all spaceborne private craft. Ground all suspicious ships and hold the occupants.
I'll relay that message, Commander. Can you give any sort of description of the ship?
No, we merely saw the blast-off scar. Looked like it was from a small space cruiser. That water main break was deliberately sabotaged. An atomic driller did the job.
Atomic driller?
Yes. We found it abandoned near the break. Tell Colonel Henderson I want investigators sent out to examine it. They'll need firefighting equipment.
Yes, sir.
Make an immediate check of all known atomic drilling machines on Mercury. Where they are and who has them.
Yes, Commander.
How's the water situation in Solaria?
It's even more serious than we thought, sir. We're setting up cargo ships to bring some in from other cities. Commander, a Venus-bound passenger ship reported seeing a wrecked lab ship south of Solaria. The pilot thought it might be Professor Mallison's ship.
South of Solaria? How far south?
15 DU, sir.
That's the hottest part of the planet. Even if the ship wasn't badly damaged by the crash, it looks bad for Mallison.
The same passenger ship also picked up Mallison's automatic code, sir. And another temperature report. 122 degrees below zero.
Below zero? That seems impossible. Have you sent any units to investigate?
Not yet, sir. Colonel Henderson...
Yes, I know. You've got problems of your own, Lieutenant. Give me the location of that crashed ship. I'll investigate it myself.
And 87 degrees, 16 minutes, 43 seconds west.
But I suppose that's the ship you shot down?
Shut up, Elvis. I got their frequencies, both of them.
Got it, Lieutenant. One more thing, Commander. The passenger ship pilot isn't sure, but he thought he saw something moving near the crashed ship. It doesn't seem likely.
No, it doesn't. But I'll get there as quickly as I can. Corey out.
Corey alive? Yeah, it was somebody else we ran over with the driller. Cut it off.
That is the first ship you shot down, and there's someone still alive.
There couldn't be. That was 4 days ago. And even in the best spacesuit made, nobody could live 4 days in that heat.
What are we going to do?
We're going to make sure. Maybe we can get there before Corey does. And if not, we'll cut Corey's investigation short.
Murdoch, maybe we didn't kill those men with the driller. Maybe it was Corey and somebody else, and they escaped somehow.
Well, if he did, he wouldn't escape this time. You marked down those coordinates, didn't you?
Yeah, they're right here.
All right. I'll take the controls. You get on the view scope. We don't want to get close to another ship, especially Corey's.
We're nearly to the location, sir.
Drop her down a few thousand feet, Hap.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this part of Mercury looks even worse than where we were before. Rougher terrain.
Yes, and it's even hotter. Close to 500 degrees. Now, listen. Get that down, Hap.
Yes, sir. MLS 28.
Mercury Lab Ship 28. That's Mallison's identification code.
Temperature minus 122 degrees. Hey, it cut out.
Minus 122 degrees. I got a fix in that signal, Happy. It's almost directly below us. Look.
It's a cracked-up ship, all right. A lab job, too.
Get your spacesuit on, Happy.
Yes, sir.
Whatever we do, we've got to do it fast.
Hey, Commander, down there by that cliff. It's a man in a spacesuit.
That's incredible. He's waving to us. Stand by for repeller ray.
That's the lab ship, all right. Even in the viewscope, you can see it's pretty badly smashed up.
Yeah, but we're too late. Corey's ship is landing right near it.
What do we do?
He'll probably go in to find what's left of Mellison. When he does, we'll swoop down and blast the wreckage, and then shoot out Terra 5.
Better not get so low, Burdock. They may see us.
There's not much they can do about it. Anyway, I'm keeping between them and the sun. Nobody's going to look up at the sun, especially here on Mercury.
Wait a minute. They're running right past the ship. Where are they going?
Oh, maybe. Seeing something close to the cliff.
Burdock, it's a man. And he's alive.
After 4 days in the blast furnace down there, it's impossible.
See for yourself.
Must be Mellison. We've got to make sure that none of them get out of here. Get your spacesuits on, Grohl.
We aren't going to land.
Not unless we have to. But I'm going to make sure that all 3 of them are finished before we leave here.
Check your suit spacerphone, Happy.
It's working okay, sir. And so's the temperature control.
And we'll need it. All right, open the outer hatch.
Mallison's acting pretty strange, sir. He just stands over there and motions to us instead of coming toward us.
It's hardly a normal way to greet rescuers. Let's see if the spacesuit transmitter's working. Professor Mallison, this is Commander Corey. Can you read me?
He's just waving more excited than ever.
Professor, if you hear me, hold both hands over your head.
He's doing it.
Apparently he can hear us, but his transmitter's out.
I thought I heard something in the earphones just for a second and another voice.
Professor, is there some reason why you want us to come over there? If there is, hold your hands straight out at your sides.
Yeah, that's what he wants us to do.
We better do as he asks. How did he manage to survive in this?
Commander, it's a cave.
Yeah, I see. Commander, can you hear me now?
Yes, Professor.
My spaceophone wasn't working, so I couldn't answer you. Commander, you've got to look at this.
It's a happy surprise to find you alive, Professor. That spacesuit must be remarkably resistant to heat.
It isn't the suit that's responsible. Just look in here, where the beam from my atomolight is shining.
It just looks like an ordinary cave.
Further back, look at the walls.
You mean that shiny blue-black mineral?
Commander, that's ice.
Ice?
In this part of Mercury?
Right. Thousands of tons of it, perhaps millions.
That's how you manage to stay alive. It's cool in the cave.
Yes, with 570 degrees outside. Inside, it's a constant 122 below zero.
And your automatic rocket transmitter was right.
Commander, do you realize what this underground ice means to Mercury? To the people of Solaria in particular?
You mentioned millions of tons.
Conservative estimates. Think how easily it could be melted and piped to Solaria. Only a matter of a few miles in comparison with the present haul of more than 1,000.
It certainly is a timely discovery. Dozens of conduits can be built from here to Solaria at a fraction of the cost of the one line that was broken.
A spaceship. Yeah, it must be a space patrol craft.
Let's get to our ship, Professor. Believe me, this news will be welcome in Solaria.
Well, what I don't understand is how all this ice could be underground in the hot part of Mercury.
The rock above insulates it. This is not a new phenomenon by any means. Why, on the planet Earth, more than 1,000 years ago, Indians in the Arizona desert used to get ice from a natural cavern such as this.
Hey, wait a minute. It's not a space patrol ship. It's a private cruiser.
You're right, sir. It's taxiing around on repeller ray.
I've seen that ship before. Why, it's the one that shot my lab ship down.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Hey, what's a crazy fool doing? He's backing the ship right toward the cave.
Better get out of here or he'll run over us.
Got something worse than that in mind. He's seen us and doesn't want us to get out.
Well, maybe he's just backing up to get room to blast off between here and the opposite wall of the canyon.
Not in your life. Quickly, get out of the cave. He's going to put his stern in here and turn on his rocket blast. It's lucky we saw him in time to get out of the cave. Now get behind this rock. Maybe he won't see us from the ship.
Hey, you're right, Commander. He's pushing the tail of his ship back in the cave with blasts from his forward rocket.
Really intends to see that we don't get away from here. Now keep close to the rock. I think we'll be safe here.
Hey, he's keeping his forward rockets on to hold the ship in the cave.
Something tells me he's going to regret this.
Wow, the ship's wrecked.
It shot right across the canyon into the opposite wall.
His hand must have slipped off the controls.
No, Happy. The heat from his rocket exhaust turned the ice into steam, and it popped the ship out of the cave like a cork.
We'd better get over there, Commander. They may be badly hurt.
If they haven't got spacesuits on, they haven't a chance.
Commander, I see somebody getting out. Yeah, there are two of them.
And they do have spacesuits on.
Let's get them. By their attitude, I don't think we'll have any trouble.
No, sir. You know, during the last few minutes, sir, I really realized what a wonderful thing water is.
That's so?
Yes, sir. In the form of ice, it saved Professor Mallison's life. And when those two fellows turned it into steam, it simply cooked their goose.
An exciting preview of next week's new Space Patrol adventure after this important question. Have you sent for your Space Patrol spaceophone yet? You better hurry! Yes, sir, this sensational offer is soon going to end. And you don't want to be left without one of these thrilling new spaceophone sets, do you? No, sirree. So, hurry! More fun. You can talk back and forth on the spaceophone to someone a straight 50 feet away. Just like talking on the telephone. Complete with two spaceophones, 50 feet of communication cord, and secret briefing sheet. Now remember, these are official spaceophones, made especially for you on Earth. Real beauties, too. Gleaming blue and yellow plastic. Look exactly like the spaceophones Buzz Corey and the gang use. So don't wait a single day. Hurry! Yes, sir, you have to hurry, because this offer soon comes to an end. To get the complete Space Patrol spaceophone set, do this. Buy a box of Instant Ralston. Then, with your name and address, send 25 cents in coin and an Instant Ralston box top to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. This offer good only in continental U.S. and may be withdrawn at any time. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now for a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol story. Buzz and Happy have just entered a spaceship in Neptune City spaceport in search of a traitor against the United Planets. They pause in the open hatch a moment.
He may be up forward, tampering with the controls.
Wrong guess, gentlemen.
Commander, look out!
Here we are, Cadet. I've got a ray gun.
Yeah, well, I've got it.
I warned you.
Carter, put down that gun.
Don't try to get to your feet, Commander.
What are you doing in this ship?
Preparing it for its last voyage. There's an explosive hidden aboard. Time to go off 2 hours after blastoff. And you, my friend, will be aboard.
Be sure to be with us next Saturday for the exciting story, The Queen of Space.
Boys and girls, this is your commander. Do you know how life-giving oxygen is carried to the cells of the body? By the bloodstream. So when a person loses a great deal of blood in an accident or in sickness, there's not enough blood left to do that job. Result? The person dies. So, will you help me save lives by joining the Space Patrol Blood Boosters? It's fun, it's patriotic. So join the Space Patrol Blood Boosters today.
Space Patrol, an original Mike Moser production starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston and directed by Larry Robertson. Other players were Ken Mayer and Norman Jolly. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Ralston again present the new exciting Space Patrol. And be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol story on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. Space Patrol comes to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.